Buenas noches, good evening everybody. It's Wade T. Lightheart from Panama City, Panama. Great to see you. I'm here with my good friends, Mr. Creel Hutchinson and Siha Top. How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome! 2017! Woo! We're here. Good to see you guys. Hey, Creel.
Hey everybody. Welcome to 2017. I'm currently in Baja, Mexico for another few days. Been down here a month, so super stoked to be on the program, see my good compadres, and have you guys all aboard. So, yeah, 2017.
So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody that has joined us tonight for the evening. You are not going to be disappointed. We're going to help you turn your 2017 into the best year ever. Secondly, I also want to put another big thank you and gratitude, much appreciation for an amazing 2016. The collective group did outstanding. We had so many people that hit new ranks, so many people that are hitting new levels of income, so many people who are really just kind of really stepping into this and taking the next level. And for those of you who have joined us for the very first time and joined the Prosperity and Health Alliance, I want to welcome you to the team. I want you to reach out to you and let you know that this is an ongoing resource. Be sure to go check out the YouTube channel because we have a lot of back trainings. A lot of your questions can be answered there. Also, you want to make sure that you check your emails. You're going to receive 2 training emails a week when you join. And most importantly, when you sign up a new distributor, you want to make sure that part of the process is to get them on the Prosperity and Health Alliance, and that way we can help you get your people up and trained so that they can rock and roll with their business and help us all hit those next levels and really build the lives that we all desire. So again, remember, you want to tap into the prosperityandhealthalliance.com. It's a resource that myself, Creel, and Siha have put together for you and to connect with you. And please, for those of you who are joining us tonight, you want to stay all the way to the end because I'll tell you this, we're going to open up the lines. You can ask any question in the chat box that you need, anything that's the burning question, the thing that you want to get out the most, the things that's holding you back, whatever that happens to be, you want to stay to the end and get on there. Now, tonight's webinar is going to be a little bit longer than some of the other ones, and the reason for that is this. This is 2017. This is January. We're a couple weeks, or 9 days out of the, where people make all the goal-setting lists and all that sort of stuff in New Year's, and most people are finished by now. But with the Prosperity and Health Alliance, we're just getting started. This is not a theory. This is not just some pie-in-the-sky program. This works, and it works if you work it. So here is, the guys are going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a series of slides that we're going to take you exactly what you need to do in a step-by-step format. This is a simple and productive action plan. You follow this, you get success. You don't know this, you don't follow this, you could run into troubles. Our strategy around this is learn how we do this business first, and once you hit 6A, do it whatever way you think is best. But I think you'll find that the key to success in this organization and in this business and in this industry is through duplication and replication throughout your organization. So the worst thing that can happen to you is your better idea on how to do things. I cannot tell you how many people get lost in that. So without any further ado, gentlemen, what we're going to do is we'll turn it over to you after I go through the initial 45 slides. I know you've got some special things that you want to add to the group, your insight and your vision. And keep in mind, guys, that all of the people on this line are people that are producing 6 figures or more, who are your educators and your teachers. So we're not talking about theory, we're talking about actionable plans. So if you want that, listen up, tune in, get out your pens and papers, take notes, and be sure if you have questions, save them for the last, write them down, put them in the chat box. We'll address each and every one of them. We'll stay as long as we need to make sure that we can help you, and we'll be back again each and every Monday night except the first Monday of the month, which we all go on the Kangen One info. So thank you again for everyone, and I see we've got a lot of people on the line tonight. I want to say hi to everybody that just jumped on. We're ready to go. Buckle your seatbelts. We're shifting into turbo right now. So tonight's webinar is on how to turn your Enagic vision into a simple and productive action plan. They are a set of simple steps for being productive in your Enagic business. Of course, I'm your host, Master Trainer 4-3, Wade T. Lightheart, and happy to be here. Bottom line, let's start with where this all begins. Mr. Oshiro, over 40 years ago, came up with a vision, and he called it the True Health Philosophy. And the True Health Philosophy is something that we share with compassion. You can put this in your head all that you want. You can plan out all the things and do that. But when you let this drop out of your head and into your heart, shared with compassion, you'll start to see the magic of Enagic. Okay? As I say with Enagic, it's not perfect. It's just better than the other options. The three standards that Mr. Oshiro, and he drew these on the board when I saw that first presentation over 9 years ago. He did this presentation. He drew 3 circles, and he kept going through this. It was simple, it was easy, and it's effective. And this process has turned him into a billion-dollar company that has, circumnavigated the globe many times. The first start is physical health. That is the primary benefit of the water. You drink the water, it improves your health. It's just that simple. That's not a health claim, it's just a reality. Second thing, you start sharing your story. You start telling your story and the stories of people around you. And what happens is when other people get machines, you're rewarded financially. That adds to financial health. So he said the 2 benchmarks of, or the foundational pieces of health is first your physical health, because without physical health you can't have financial health. Second, you add financial health. Now you have 2 legs on the table. Eventually that leads to what we call happiness or peace of mind. So physical health, financial health, and peace of mind. Do not underestimate the importance of having a philosophy. Keep it simple, keep it easy. The 3 aspects of our True Health Philosophy set forth by our CEO, Mr. Oshiro. It works. Second, we're going to share with you 3 steps, and we call this Vision Goals Traction. Last year, in another one of my companies, we implemented a process called Traction, and it transformed how we looked at our business. It took a process that was beyond having a vision, beyond having a goal, but actually turned that vision into a series of goals and helped us get traction. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. So the first thing you have to understand, and I want you to write these questions down, so get out your pen and paper and write these down, because you might not be able to think of the answer this quick, but when you get done this webinar, you need to go back to these questions and answer them. By answering this will activate aspects of your own consciousness and help you stay motivated when you hit those challenges that come up from time to time when you're in your business. So the first question is this: what's your vision? What is your vision? What is the end game here? What do you want to achieve? Is it you want to help a lot of people? Do you want to have great health for your family? Do you want to add an extra $500 or $1,000 income to your life? Do you want to pay off your mortgage? Do you want to pay off your cars? Do you have bills that you want to cover? Do you want to invest in your children's future? Or do you want to replace your current job? Maybe you have a spouse that you want to come home from their job. Maybe you want to take it to the next level and make this a career for yourself. Whatever that is, you need to write down that vision, and the sweet spot of writing a vision is what do you believe that you can do. Some people say, I want to make $1 million in Enagic. Oftentimes that might be too big. Like, it's good to have that vision, but recognize when you say that, kind of write the vision, and as you get down to the goal part of this, you need to make it believable. The second part, what's your goal? And we're going to go into goals here, and we're going to break goals down into multi-year goals, yearly goals, 90-day goals, and 30-day goals. And you want to work backwards from the ultimate vision and get down to the minutia so that you can start planning your day-to-day activities that lead you to the income-producing activities that are going to help you build and grow your business. Finally, how do you get traction? And what I mean by traction is everybody and their dog nowadays, writes their goals out. Everybody, has these kind of, a piece of paper somewhere in the attic, in a book, or in a, in a file in their computer about their vision. The difference between the people that make those things come to fruition and the people that don't is how you get traction. And traction is the processes and the accountability that you build into the system. So we're going to get into that in a few minutes. So let's go back to building your vision. When there's a saying in the Bible that says, when there is no vision, the people will perish. That's from King Solomon, considered one of the wisest people in history. when there is no vision, the people will perish. And I think if you look back in your life or you look into organizations that you may have worked for, if you be part of organizations that you're a part of or groups or anything, there's nothing more powerful than a vision of the future. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and I think this is really, if you talk about what a master visionary was, it's all summed up in Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream," where he envisioned in poetic fashion, I have a dream that one day that sons of former slaves, the sons of former slaves owners will sit down at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. And he made that happen because he had a vision, and his vision was so powerful, so compelling, it pulled people into the vision. So make your vision powerful and believable and something that inspires you and your team. We have a vision that we want to have 1,000 people who make $100,000 a year in this business or more. 1,000 people. That's our goal in the PH Alliance. It's a huge, massive goal. It's going to take us maybe a decade or something. That's okay. I would refer, if you have trouble coming up with a vision, and a lot of people do, who are not taught to think this way, I will recommend a book for you. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big. Peter Thiel, who is also one of the founders of PayPal and a master of San Francisco, he always says, looking at a problem, say, how do I 10x my business this year? Asking yourself the big questions. How do I replace my job with Enagic? How do I pay off my mortgage in a year? How do I, whatever that happens to be, when you go into vision, you want to go as big as you possibly can. You want to just get your mind really, really expanding on what would be the ultimate thing for you. Not for me, not for anybody else, for you. What is your ultimate vision, okay? Like go up to that point, and that becomes a driver. Second, I would also recommend that you tap into daily kind of musings or sayings or follow-ups to kind of reactivate your vision. And I think some guys that are out there that are really great is Tony Robbins and Brendan Burchard. I think they're great visionaries, and I think they've mastered high-performance processes so they can get into that visionary state that's very energetic. It gets you charged up. I think those guys are great guys. There's other guys out there. Find someone that inspires you and make it a daily ritual to get activated on an inspirational level so that you see your vision or review your vision. They have sometimes they have like little activities that you can do in the morning or in the evening or at a free point in time where you can really kind of reactivate your vision and spend time on it. Finally, I would also recommend another book called Traction by Gino Wickman. If you want to get into the accountability program and you're into into building something, I think that's awesome. That's not for everybody. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but if you really want to go to the next level, I think those are great tools that you can use. Next thing I would like you to examine, and this is something right at Attraction, is what's your core values. So it's one thing to have your vision, but if you're going to follow a vision and you have a belief system that you have to compromise your values, you're just not going to do that. And oftentimes this is where we get competing psychological components inside ourselves. Maybe you grew up in an environment that shunned business. Maybe you grew up in an environment that shunned sales or shunned MLM businesses, or you're from a social group that has values that are counterproductive, and they might be lurking around in the recesses of your mind. You have to look at your core values and write down 5 to 7 values of what's really important to you. Is helping people important to you? Is providing for your family important to you? Is contributing to your community important to you? Is maintaining a good standing in your social circles or in your community? Is that important to you? What is the values? Do you value fun? Do you value having a good time? Do you value being on time? Whatever it is, whatever your core values is, you got to realize that when you build your Enagic business, you're going to attract people to your values. This is important. This is going to make your business a lot of fun if you have shared values in the business. So write down 5 to 7 core values that you want to embrace as you go towards your vision. And finally, you've got to realize it's one thing to have the vision, it's one thing to have values, but how are you going to get there? So we're going to talk about that here coming up. So how are you going to get to your vision? Well, First and foremost, you got to go vision to goals. When I started this 9.5 years ago, I envisioned myself at this level, where you get the income, the income coming in on a monthly basis, no matter what, and that was my vision. So that was like a 10-year vision. I can't tell you how important it is to have a 10-year vision. What would you like to see in 10 years? So take your age right now. Let's say you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever. Go out into the future 10 years from now. What would you like to see happening in your Enagic business? Just kind of a general idea. Maybe you see yourself, I saw myself living in a tropical environment, having money coming in on a regular basis, and kind of living the dream. And guess what? Here I am. You can see the palm trees in the background. I'm sitting in a beautiful penthouse here in Panama City, and it's happened. I didn't even know how that was going to happen, but it just did. Then you get into a 3-year target. The 3-year target, this is where you're starting to get more specific. So, for example, it might be becoming a 6A2 or a 6A22 or whatever that happens to be. You want to get specific on that one. Pick that rank. Pick the income level that is concordant, because keep in mind, you don't have to be a 2-3 to make a lot of money in this business. I know a lot of 6As that are making a lot of money, and I know 6A22s that are broke. So the bottom line is, what's the difference between the two? How much they're working. So if you have an income dollar, so put an income amount and put a rank amount in your 3-year target. The reality is, for most people, if you're starting out, a good 3-year target is the ability to do this full time. I think if you're starting off and you're doing this on a part-time basis in conjunction with whatever else you're doing, setting a goal for 3 years to replace your current income and buy back your time, I think is a really realistic goal. So bottom line is, what does your business look like in 3 years? For some people, that's that might be just having enough money to pay your mortgage payment and your car payment every month. That's cool too. The beauty of this, it's all about you. You get to set the way you want. It's important to describe this in numerical and in measurable terms. So I will get this rank and this amount of money by this time. So 3 years from now, we're going to get on this call. It's going to be 2020. What's your life going to look like? If you're willing to work hard right now for the next 3 years, you're going to have a very different experience than you currently are now. That I can guarantee, and that's exciting. Next thing, we're going to take these goals that you set, and keep in mind, if you didn't have a chance to do that right away, you can think about it. Just write down the questions that we have here so that you can come back to this later, and if you have challenges with it, reach out to your upline sponsor or to one of us, Creole, Siha, or myself. We'll be happy to help you with this, to kind of work on this, to really get your target down and really drill this deep. Next thing is, who's your target market? I've been very, very fortunate to have a career. One of my businesses, I'm with a world-class marketer, and this is one of the things that you have to understand, and I didn't really understand this. Who are the people you're looking for? Who are the people you want to talk to? And the more specific your target gets, the easier this becomes. So for example, let's say you were a person that, and again, we're not making health claims. Let's say you're a person that overcome arthritis. Or let's say you're a person that overcome acid reflux, or some kind of digestive issue, or maybe you overcame eczema, whatever it is. You could make a total business out of focusing just on people that have that challenge, and you could get very, very specific in your marketing. You could get very specific about your story. So when you tell your story, say, hey, look, I had eczema for 17 years. It was really, really painful. I was embarrassed about it. My hands hurt. I was bleeding all the time. I was on all these medications. The medication had all these side effects. I didn't know what to do. I tried everything. I went to all these natural health products. I tried all these stuff, and nothing seemed to work. And then a friend of mine told me about Enagic, and all of a sudden, I started drinking this water. I didn't believe it. I thought, no, it can't be this way. This is impossible. I drank this amount of water for this amount of time, and guess what? All of a sudden my eczema went away. I don't know how this happened. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for other people with eczema that this could benefit from. And you can be part of, reach out groups. You can look for people on Facebook. You can look on people in all sorts of channels. You can reach out into your community. You can make signs about it. You can take out ads about it. There's all kinds of things you could do on that. I'm using that as an example. I'm not saying go out and do that, but know your target market. Maybe you're looking at middle-aged or retirees, people that are going to retire in the next 5 to 10 years, and they're uncertain about their financial future if their social program is going to pay for their retirement. Maybe you're looking for that. Start looking for that, or start getting into that conversation that is natural to you so that you can relate your story to, okay? And then you also want to learn the stories of other people, so that, let's say you come across somebody who has a story that's maybe suffering from a condition or has another challenge. You can relate a story to them and say, hey, you know what, I don't know if this is for you, but I've got a friend that had that exact same thing, and he started drinking this water. Let me tell you my story, and you tell your story, you relate the other story, and then say, hey, are you interested in trying this out? That's the kind of idea about looking at your target market. So think about that. Think about who you want to speak to, who you feel most relatable to, and then start building your story around that, and then expanding your story by learning other people's, okay? The worst case you can do is trying to market to all people at all times. It's not specific enough. Realize that you're out there talking to a lot of people. Again, what's your 3 unique selling points for your business? Why should anyone join your organization? And what I'm going to share with you is this. For me, this changed. When I first started, I didn't know anything about the business. I was resistant to the business model. In fact, I didn't want anything to do with it, but I loved the health benefits. Now, the beauty of that was I drove deep on the health benefits, and I got a lot of people interested in the product of the health. In other words, I sold a lot of machines. As time went by, and thanks to our good friend Siha Top, he introduced me to the concept of the business and started teaching me the business, because he came to it from the business, wasn't so concerned about the health. Now, by working together, I saw the benefits of the health and the benefits of the business. I hadn't fully grasped, Mr. Oshiro's true health philosophy. So work with people who are. So look at that. Are you working on the health side or the business side? So I would say, we're in the health and wealth business, right? We're in the prosperity business. So look at what that is and say, hey, we've got a technology that virtually everybody needs. It turns ordinary water into 5 different types of water. And the best part is there's a business model that allows you to offset your taxes with the price of the machine. We have points of sale, service, and distribution around the planet, and it is the #1 commodity of the world. If you got 60 seconds, I'd like to share an idea with you how this could transform your life. That's something that you come to once you've gathered some information. So look at your 3 selling points, whatever that is for you, right? Siha talked about how he's the hardest working guy in Enagic. He was willing to go anywhere and do a demo for anybody he'd help their business for. He had those points down. So figure out what 3 points that are going to make you attractive to anyone that wants to join your business, okay? That's very, very important. Next, what's your proven process? Here's your proven process. We have a step-by-step system. I'm a member, not only am I a member of Enagic, that's the points of sales and service and distribution around the planet, we have a step-by-step process with the Prosperity and Health Alliance. I'm aligned with 3 of the top proven, most successful distributors in the entire Enagic system, and we have a unique system that you get access to when you join my organization. In fact, we have a webinar this Monday night. Why don't you come and join on it, and let me introduce you to my business partners. Now, even if you're just starting out, guess what? You're going to introduce them to the people that are going to help you succeed in your business. That's what we're here to do. You got to realize, when I got started, I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to do anything, and I wasn't confident in this business. So guess what? Here's the beauty of the program. I was able to take this process in this business, and I was able to hand it over to people who were proven. My sponsors were proven people who had a lot of success in the industry, and frankly, Siha and Creel, both of my top distributors, guess what? They wouldn't have, I introduced them to those people because it was those people that sold them on the program. It was those people that sold them on the process. They didn't know me. They didn't know I would be successful, and I had no success in this industry. So I leveraged the credibility. I leverage the skill set of those people, and believe me, you want to do this. Let us help you with the proven process. Let us help train your people through this amazing website. Finally, you want to get a mentor. You want to find the person that's most like your personality. Creel, Siha, myself, we're all very different. There's other people in Enagic. You know, there's other distributors out there who are, you know, like Daniel D. McCauley. There's Eli DeFesh. There's Romy Verdera. There's Cynthia Brigante. You know, the list goes on and on. Go and check out all the calls, go and check out all the leaders, and find yourself a mentor. And if you want to have a mentor just on the industry, I think you can't go wrong with Eric Worre. Get on this coaching program. Get someone to hold you accountable. All right? So let's go to the one-year plan. I know I can kind of ramble on this, but I get so excited about this. And believe me, you know, I'm over here in you know, hit that -3 point, and believe me, you'll understand why I'm so excited. It's better than advertised, and I want each and every one of you to experience the prosperity that I'm enjoying right now and Siha's enjoying right now. We want to share this with you, and I know it's the same with everybody at the -3 level. We want to get you there as fast as possible. So let's talk about your one-year plan. Let's get specific. Okay, how much time? There's 3 things that are going to involve your success. How much time you put into this business, how much money that you want to get out of this business, and what's your process for achieving those. Okay? There is a correlation between how much time you put in, how much money you make, and the difference is how effective you establish a process for yourself. So be specific. How many hours a week? 5 hours, 10 hours? This is part of the closing process that I use. And you can go look on this about how to close the 4-part closing questions. It's another webinar that we already have recorded. Check that out. And that's the questions I go to right away. You know, I ask people, how much time are you willing to put into this? How many months are you willing? How many hours a week? How many months are you willing to get to the amount of money that you want to make? And what is the process? Are you following a process? Because you're just randomly going out there hoping that you're going to do something. I think it can be very defeating. It can be very discouraging if you don't have a process. We have a process, so you don't have to worry. Finally, what are the major things that you need to learn and acquire, or you need to investigate, or what are some things that you need to let go of? I'll tell you what I needed to let go of. I needed to let go of my preconception of what network marketing or social selling or multi-level marketing or whatever or human-based marketing, whatever you want to call this business. I had some preconceptions about it that really held me back. If you have those, and a lot of people do, you need to find a process to get rid of those. The next thing is you're probably going to need some skills. You need to be able to invite, you need to be able to share the product, and you need to be able to close. And in order to do that, you need to be coachable. Which one of those things do you need to work on? And again, all of these are covered in the videos on our stuff, and they're all covered in Eric Worre's GoPro Network Marketing, the book, the courses, the online videos. There's a ton of resources out there. He's got 7 areas that you can assess yourself in, figure out what they are, and figure out which things that you need to work on, okay? Now, here's another really important part. You got to break down your quarter into 90-day actionable steps. Anything beyond 90 days, your brain checks out of. It does. Trust me on this one. I've tried it over and over. Every year, I set yearly plans, and I would only hit so many of them. But when I did the yearly plan and then I broke it down into quarters, I had a lot more success because there's a sense of urgency. If you have a goal that you think you're going to achieve by the end of 2017, let's say you're starting out and you say, I'm going to be 6A by the end of 2017. Okay, that's a great goal. There's nothing wrong with that goal. I think it's an awesome goal for someone new starting out. But in order to get there, you've got to work backwards from that. So let's say you want to be 5A by the 3rd quarter. So by October of next year, you want to be a 5A. And that means in July of this year, you need to be a 4A. And that means in April of this year, you need to be a 3A, okay? You see how this works? Now you work backwards. So now to get to your 6A, you need to get to a 3A. Well, what does that mean? That means you need 10 people inside your group. You need 10 people. So that means you're going to have to sponsor maybe 3 people and help them get 3 people. Can you do this in the next 90 days? Of course you can. And now that goal is broken down into a piece that is doable, and you can get with the people and you won't get discouraged. If you say 6A, guess what? It's going to be July and you might not have even got your first sponsorship because the brain just kind of checks out. It's not urgent enough, okay? So break that goal down into 90 days, okay? And that goes for all you other guys that are on the 6A2 train and the 2-2 train and the 2-3 train and stuff. You got to work backwards. Next thing, plan your action. You want to get measurable action, okay? And when I talk about measurable action, here's what you can measure. The number one thing you can measure is the amount of people you talk to. You can't always control the outcome. You can't control what people are going to take action. You can measure how many times you contact people initially, how many times you follow up, how many times you ask for the sale. Realize you're going to have to ask for the sale 5 to 6 times with the person before you're going to get that close. Okay? You're going to say no. Expect and embrace the no. That's not no. That just means you got to the first no. You're going to need 5 or 6 of those before you get to the close. Okay? So just ask for that. Practice those things. We have that in the closing videos. You can see that on the YouTube site, Prosperity and Health Alliance. Go to the YouTube channel. Click on the link later on if you need to work on that or work with your sponsor or work with your upline. Next, you need to regularly review your action. If you're following the action steps that are delivered on the Prosperity and Health Alliance email stuff, we have a checkbox every 6 lessons. So you get 2 lessons a week, and on the 3rd week, the 21st day, 3 weeks in, guess what? There's a checklist of the things that you need to be good at in your business or have done or to have completed. Now what you want to do is you want to get with your sponsor, you want to get with your upline and go through that list and say, here are the areas I'm struggling with, here's the areas I need help with, I don't know where these resources is, these are the places I'm struggling with. You got to realize that we don't expect you to be perfect. We don't expect you to think that you're going to get this nailed down. You're going to have roadblocks, you're going to have hiccups, you're going to have things that are frustrating. This is a normal part of business. This is a normal part of learning this process, and it's okay. But if you're not measuring this, you get this kind of weird feeling that this isn't working or I'm no good or maybe this isn't for me. And the reality is all you're getting feedback. When you bring it to measurable stuff, I go, well, I didn't get my 10 people in the first month. Why? Well, I only talked to 3 people. Well, if you only talked to 3 people, how could you get 10? Now, if you went out and talked to 30 and you got 3, you go, okay, well, guess what? If I talk to 90 people or 100 people, I'm going to hit my goal. I already know my conversion rate, so I can get better. Realize you're only going to be as bad as you're only going to be as bad as you are today. You're going to continue to get better if you work this process. So wherever you're at, that's where you're at. By measuring it, you can see where you're at, and you don't have to make a judgment that you're bad or you're no good or you're a legend or whatever. It's just this is the results and you move on. And that's where your upline and your support can really help. Keep adjusting until you get dialed. That's the word we like. You just dial. You're, a plane flying from New York to Los Angeles off course 95% of the time, but they can usually gauge within a minute or 2 of when that plane's going to land. The pilot is course correcting all the time, and that's why tuning into the webinars every Monday night is so important, because we're going to help you course correct. We're going to help you keep on track. We're going to help you keep motivated and keep this in the forefront of your life. Hey, we're living in a world of distractions. Everybody is buying for your time. Everybody's competing. There's zombies on TV. There's advertisements on shows. There's Facebook. You can go into a YouTube hole. We've all been there. All of a sudden you're trying to send an email, something comes in, and 3 hours goes by. You got lost on your phone. You missed the bus. Okay? So get traction in your business. You need a 90-day game plan. You need to go over this game plan, check with your upline to see if it's realistic. Number 1, number specific. What's the one thing you can control? How many people you can contact. Look in your phone. Find out how many people are there. Make a list, hots mediums, and colds, right? Who do you think will go? Who do you think's a medium? Who do you think you'd like to talk to next century? And work from the top down. Work from the ones that are easiest, the one that are fastest, the one that you want to work with, and just go through that list. The more people that you go out and hit right off the bat, the better off. If you keep in mind, Romy Verdera, if you look at his success, one of the most successful, I mean, Romy makes a couple $1 million a year in this business. He went 6A in 72 days, but he did 100 presentations in his first 90 days. And the thing was, he said he spoke to about 500 people. Well, only 100 people joined. Do you think he cared about the 400 people that didn't join? No. He only had to worry about the 100. You have to realize not everybody's going to get into it. Not everybody's going to join your organization. Not everybody's going to say yes. Not everybody's going to say yes right away. I have friends that are going to get a machine. They know I've had this machine for 9 years. They're still going to get one. I'm still dripping on them. Right? They're going to get one. I know they are. But they're not going to get one right now. And that's fine. Recognize, you got to understand this is a process. If you get that you have a process, whether that's going to, you're talking to 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, whatever you commit to, you're going to create sustainable momentum. And it's better to I have a tendency to bite off more than I can chew instead of being realistic. So I always have to get course corrected for myself. We all have these patterns, right? I think I can just solve the world's problems in 90 days. Well, then I find out, well, after 90 days, I solved 1 or 2 problems, and I created 10 more in my mind because I didn't solve all the rest. Well, that's my default, and I have people in my life to help me course correct. Whatever that is for you, keep in mind we're all different. Finally, daily discipline. Daily discipline is the difference between producers and excusers, right? And I can't tell you, I go over this and over this and over this and over this and over this. And here's the thing: the difference between the ease of the business and when as you've mastered the daily discipline. And every time that you're starting a new business, learning a new skill, trying something new, you have to realize your discipline is probably not where it needs to be at first. And that's why you need accountability for somebody. So somebody outside of yourself to help hold you accountable to the discipline. Find out what it is that you do and have someone hold you to the grill to make sure that you do it until the discipline becomes automatic. Okay, the research is it's not 21 days to start a new habit, it's like 67 to anchor the discipline. You can learn a habit maybe in 21 days, but to make it a discipline so that you don't have to think about it, that's the difference. And believe me, take the time to recognize that. Okay, that's the difference between being a producer and an excuser. Next. I'm fired up tonight, boys. Wow, this heat here in Panama has got me going, guys. I'm so fired up. I'm so glad you're with me. So are you guys with me? Put a shout out into the camera if you are, because I just want to go all night. We're going to go all night long. I'm having so much fun, guys. Anyways, 3 stages to creating your process. Number 1, you got a plan. What's your daily action schedule? Look, the easiest way to do this is block off the time in your calendar of if you've got 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day or 30 minutes a day or 10 hours a day, whatever it is that you can commit to and do something daily. It's better to do something daily than to do something once a week, a lot once a week. It's better to do a small thing daily than a whole lot once or twice a week or once or twice a month. Okay? Some people, they can only do it. Maybe they can only meet people on Saturdays or Sundays because they're working all week long and they have other responsibilities. That's fine. But have something where you take action every single day that becomes a discipline, that becomes a habit, it becomes something that you commit to, that you're into. Inundate yourself. Next thing, how do you measure and maximize your efforts? Look at your stuff. When you're measuring, you're going to get feedback, and you're going to see where you're succeeding, and you're going to see where you're struggling, and that's solid gold. Remember, we're all going to struggle. Embrace the struggle, and then learn how to maximize your effectiveness by putting in the people, the places, the procedures, and the processes that are going to allow you to be successful. Number 3, review where you're succeeding. Okay. Find out where your team is succeeding. If there's something going wildfire in your team, find out what it is. If you're doing something in your business that's working, just do a lot more of it. Recognize that if you can get good at one thing that works, you just find one communication, one pitch, one line, one strategy that's working for you. Maybe it's home demos, maybe it's three-way calls, maybe it's webinars, maybe it's video presentations, maybe it's book presentations, maybe it's just having coffee with people and asking questions. Once you find something that's succeeding, you just want to do this over and over and over and over and maximize it and go crazy. And you know what? Learn all the other stuff later on. Just whenever you find something that works, get rid of it. Whenever you find something in your team that's working, find out what it is and spread it to everybody. Okay? And that's what we do here on Monday nights. Number 9, when you're not producing the results you want, okay, recognize that's okay. It's just feedback. Look, nobody comes out of the gate and owns this business. If you look at the most successful distributors, these people, yeah, well, so-and-so went 6A in 90 days and went 6A2 in 180 days, and I've been doing this for 3 years, and I suck because I'm a 2A. No. You got to recognize you can't compare yourself to someone. You don't know the backstory that that guy did 15 businesses, failed at 9 MLM businesses, had 2 divorces by, you know, committing to things, and then finally hit it with Enagic or hit it in a business before and took those skills over here. You don't know the backstory. You don't know the successes and failures. So recognize the results are the results. That's okay. Find yourself a mentor. Find yourself a coach. And then just start working on improving your performance. It works if you work it. And let's face it. Let's say it took you 10 years. Let's say it took you 10 years from now to make a 6-figure business income in this business every single year. Do you realize that puts you in the top 1 percentile of the world's wealthy? Do you realize that creates a lifestyle that most humans in the history of existence couldn't even think of? That's the reality. So is 10 years worth it? If you can get 2, 3 in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years and you know that you're going to make a 6-figure income from the rest of your life, and doing this, you helped other people have a better quality of life and you helped the environment, that you did good for people. I mean, you helped other people build a business, build income, pay off mortgages, put kids in school. I mean, can you imagine how good you're going to feel? Think about that for a second. So isn't it worth getting a mentor? Isn't it worth having a coach? Isn't it worth producing whatever result you can and this improving your performance? Of course it is. I'll read another book that's really good. It's by Jocko Willink. He wrote a book called Extreme Ownership, How the U.S. Navy SEALs Win. And it's talking about painful accountability and just taking full responsibility of everything that you go into business. And I want to reach out to you right now. You know, a couple of years ago, we didn't have the Prosperity and Health Alliance. We didn't have an online training system. I wasn't able to go out around and see every single group in my organization, and I felt it was getting away from me, that I couldn't connect with people. And I was traveling around, and I felt bad about it, and I didn't know what to do. And I went to an Eric Worre event, and he was doing this stuff, and I was rating myself on his 7 things, and I realized we didn't have a systematized training system. And I said, okay, you know what? If somebody in my organization, somebody in the Prosperity and Health Alliance isn't succeeding, am I going to blame Enagic? Am I going to blame Kangen One Info because Danny D. McCauley only does 1 webinar a year? Am I going to blame the office in Vancouver or Hawaii or wherever that they didn't help or they didn't create? No. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to be grateful for Enagic for producing this stuff. And I went out and just got Creel, got Siha, and we built a system to train you guys. And you know what? It was the best decision ever. And you know what? It was painful. It was painful to say, you know what? I'm not doing a good enough job as a leader. It was painful to say, I don't have an organization. You know, I had to end up doing on the 2 nights before it was due, I ended up building my very first website to get this down. You know, it happened. I had 3 different computer programs. And you know what? If I didn't have that painful ownership and my commitment to help you guys, it wouldn't have happened. And I'll tell you, there's clarity in accepting the pain and then saying, you know what? This is painful enough. I don't want this to ever happen again, and I'm going to move forward to that goal. I'm going to commit to that goal. I'm not going to. You want to look at your spouse and say, you know what? I'm not going to let this person down. You want to look at your kids and say, I'm not going to let them down. I'm going to look at whatever it is that gets you emotionally activated. And for me, it's you guys. You guys get me emotionally activated. I love seeing you go across the stage. I love seeing you get those awards. I love seeing you hit that next level. And I want to help there, and I want to be there for you, and I want to do the best job I can. I can't do it for you, but I can certainly do it with you. So 90-day game plan to recap. Goals that are measurable. You want to look at your rank, your income, the number of people you've contacted. You might want to set a team goal and a personal goal, okay? And when you set a team goal, don't just dictate the goal of the team. Get together with the people that you're working with, find out what their goals are, and connect together and keep working it. Meet every week if you need to. Hold each other accountable. Do texting sessions together where you reach out and do the 25 texts. Game plan procedure, promote in advance, okay? Look, there's the Enagic convention, global convention in Okinawa that's coming up middle of March, 15th to 18th, I believe, okay? There's an Enagic 10-year anniversary in Canada coming up on the 20th. You want to be there. I want to see you there. I want to shake your hands. I want to give you a hug. I want to share a meal with you. I want to drink some water with you. I want to have some fun with you. I want to hear your challenges and your triumphs and your success. Are you coming on the 20th? Do you have your tickets booked? Have you connected with May at the office? It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be a great time. And it's going to be my last experience. It's going to be my last physical time in Vancouver for a couple of years. I'm moving, so I'm not going to be in Vancouver. So for everybody who want in the Pacific Northwest, everybody in Vancouver, all of you guys, come on out there. Anybody in Canada, come out there. I know we got some guys out in Toronto and some girls out in Toronto. Come on out. It's my last time in Canada. I'm going to see you guys. I'll see you at the other events. But the bottom line is that's how you promote the event. You get detailed, you start telling people about it, you get excited about it, you share with it, you help people get tickets and that sort of stuff. Finally, who's your inner circle? Who's your team members, your coaches, your mentors, and motivators? You got to make a list. Make a list of the people who are on your team that are going to help you get to their ranks, and you're going to help them get to their ranks. Who's your coach? You don't have a coach, get a coach. Who's your mentor? And your mentor might not be someone that you talk to every day, but it's somebody that you might look to as inspiration. You might see somebody at the top rank, somebody going across the stage that you want to be like. And who's your motivator? Who is the person that's getting you pumped up in the day? Like, maybe you got a Tony Robbins or a Brendan Burchard or a Bob Proctor or somebody that you really resonate with, that you're going to get motivated, that's going to get you into that optimal state. Okay, now you're ready to launch. 90 days, all-out massive action. What is all-out action? I'll try that again. What does all-out massive action look like to you? For some people, that's going to be 2 hours a day on top of their working level. If that's all-out massive action for you, that's great. If 4 hours a day is all-out massive action for you, that's what it is. If 16 hours a day, like Eric Warrior's Insanity program, is what you want to do, then that's what all-out massive action to you. I'll credit Siha to this. He started the all-out massive action in our organization, and I'll tell you what, Siha has one of the fastest growing organizations in all of Enagic, and every single year he starts out with all-out massive action. He was sharing with me, right now he's going all around the world. He's 2 weeks on the World Vibe, 2 weeks back in Washington, 2 weeks out on the road. He's going to Hawaii, he's going to Honduras, he's going to Cambodia, he's going to Japan, he's going to Mexico, he's going to the United States, right? I'm here in Panama. I'm going to California. I'm going to Vancouver. I'm going to Okinawa. Those are the things that I want to do. I'm getting on the webinars every single Monday night. I'm building the sequence. I'm sending out the emails. I'm taking on the phone calls to help people go through the coaching calls. That's all out massive action to you. Big event, 90 days. Big event, Enagic. That's what's coming up in 90 days. Enagic Global Convention in Okinawa, the ESP8, spa. We have our own spa, our own hotel. We're going to camp out at. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. I hope to see you there. Next, 1 to 3. Action, calls, tech splits, ticket sales, meetings. Recognize that if you're going for all-out massive action, in my opinion, 2 hours is minimum per day. You need to put at least 2 hours a day into your business. Okay, 10 hours a week, that's a part-timer. For a full-timer, it's 8 hours a day. Okay, That's a full-time, part-time, and for like the crazy hour, the crazy insanity people, 16 hours. There might only be 1 or 2 people that want to do that insanity program. Look up Eric Worre's Insanity. Okay? Bottom line, whatever you go to, map out your plan, tell your story, and make it awesome. Awesome. Recognize this. The more people you tell your story to and the more excitement you put into your story, the better it goes. And I'll tell you what, success loves speed. The faster you do it, the more people you tell your story, the more momentum you build, and the more awesome it becomes. Believe me, that is the key to success. So when it comes to events, how to promote event, know the location, get a flyer, access a flyer, know where to get tickets, find out about the speakers, and do the promo work. Talk about the location, talk about where you can get tickets, have tickets available, talk about the speakers, tell people they want to do it, and promo, promo, promo. That's events. So, shifting gears. I know I'm rapid firing a lot of stuff at you tonight, but as we said, 2017, let's make it your year. Let's make it the best year ever. In order to do this, you need a daily action plan, you need a daily ritual. Before you pick up the phone, before you text people, before you get going, you need a ritual. You need to, what Tony Robbins says, you need to get into state. I suggest reading your vision, reading your goals, looking at your values, getting in commissions, go through that list that we started at the first, get into state, put on some music. Some people like to meditate, some people like to get pumped up, some people like to run, jump on a rebounder, scream and yell. I don't care what your state is. Get into a state where you're positive, proactive, and you want to talk to people. Whatever it is, I like a morning ritual. Next, take 2 hours of output. And when I say output, that means you don't have the notification on Google and Facebook and emails. You're not answering your telephone. You're not answering text. You want to pump out 2 hours of output. And ideally, I like to have 1 hour of inspiration. When you're on that drive to work, when you're on the commute, when you're on the walk, put on something that inspires you. Put on people that are doing amazing things that get you pumped up about your life. Sometimes people like to listen to music. Some people like to listen to coaching. Some people like to listen to their mentors. You know, for me, I like listening to Tim Ferriss. He pumps me up. I like listening to, it's not for everybody. I like listening to Tony Robbins. I like, you know, watching YouTube stuff. I like listening to I have a hypnosis CD that helps reprogram my brain. I like to meditate. These are things that I use. I'm not saying you have to do those things, but find out what works for you. Again, what is output? Output is this. These are income-producing things, okay? Listening to something doesn't produce income. Writing down a list of goals doesn't produce income. They're essential, but they're not really an output. An output is when you send a text, you send an email, you call people, you get someone on three-way call, you present the product, you present the business, or you follow up. Those are outputs. Those are the things that control your income. Everything else is secondary. If you send enough text and you emails and calls and get people in front of the product, in front of the presentations, and do the follow-up, whether you have goals or visions or anything else, you will be successful. The visions and the goals, the vision is just to get you motivated and get you ideas so you're willing to do it. The goals are kind of measure the process, but the key is output, the sets, the reps. You can't go to the gym once and have muscles. You can't eat one diet meal and get ripped. You can't you know, like get one paycheck and then expect not to work again. Okay? Use a tracking sheet. Track your stuff. Track your goals, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on your computer, whether it's printing out. I think one of the best trackers I know is Creel. He does a lot of stuff. Check out the tracking component that we have in the autoresponder sequence in the PH Alliance emails, those 12 introductory or 24 introductory emails. Those are very, very important. Okay? Here's the bottom line. I'll tell you where the sweet spot of this is. If you contact 25 people a week for 90 days, okay, so commit to this. You want to text first day of every week, whatever your day one is, you want to reach out and text 25 people. It'll take you maybe an hour to send out those 25 texts. Send out those 25 texts, start booking appointments, share the product, share the business, and follow up. 25 a week. Do it for 90 days. I'll tell you what, you're going to have a big business. You'll see. You don't do that, you're not. Can you do 25 texts? It's an hour's worth of work. You'll be surprised at how much that will. Everybody come see a presentation after 25? No. But some will. And I suggest when you go for the text, go out there. Now here's the magic of momentum. Momentum minimises the effects of the no's. It turns fear into anticipation. When you have momentum, when you send 25 texts and you get 6 responses, and that sets up 3 meetings this week and 3 meetings next week, are you worried about the 19 that didn't get action this week or didn't respond or didn't get back to you? No, you're excited. You got 6 appointments. You got 6 presentations, right? You're in the success zone, and guess what? Next week, you're going to send another text to those 19 people, and you only need to add 6 more to your list to get that 25 again. Do you see how this works? You start building on top of it, and then all of a sudden they start doing this, and pretty soon you don't even have time to get to your text because your team is sending out so many texts. Because let's say after a month you have 3 people doing the same thing, and you're doing it. Well, now from month 1 you had 25 texts going out into your business. At the end of the month, the start of the next month, you've got 3 people doing 25 texts plus your 25 texts. That means you have 40 texts going out. If you were getting 6 appointments, if that's the average, okay, and now your first week you were getting 6 appointments in your organization, guess what? With 3 people on your team, now you're getting 24 presentations in your business. And double that again the next month, okay? And double it again the next month. All of a sudden you have 100 people sending out 25 texts. You're sending out 2,500 texts 90 days later. You're still only doing your 25. That's how this business works, okay? But you've got to do your 25 and teach it. And that's what teach it turns the fear into anticipation. Next, you got to realize momentum provides perspective. It provides perspective on your business. It provides perspective on your life. It provides perspective on people. That way you stop getting into expectation and you get into gratitude and appreciation, and you start to realize, hey, this person isn't ready. Maybe it takes 6 to 12 weeks for someone to buy a machine or get started in the business or get going. You start getting perspective as opposed to getting into anxiety and hoping and scaring people away because you're trying to slam them in a day. You're building relationships. You're learning about people. You're listening to the challenges that people have. This gives you perspective, and the more people you talk to, the more perspective you're going to get on your business, and that's part of the magic of momentum. This also shows where you can improve, where you can, where you can work on, how you can be more successful. Remember, altitude changes attitude, and what I mean by that is when you see enough people, you start to rise up in your perspective, and we have a thing that we say we go to the 40,000-foot view on your business. Okay, one of the reasons that it seems that those people that are going across the stage, the 100,000, the 200,000, the $1 million earners, those people, you go, wow, they seem to have so much perspective or so much wisdom, or they don't seem to be affected by the nose. Why? They've got altitude, and they've got that altitude because they did the sets and reps, and they went through the takeoff process. They went through all the bumps and the bruises and the stuff, and that changes your attitude. Okay, you start to realize, hey, you know what? This isn't for everybody. People aren't going to action now. They're going to get with it eventually, and I'm going to work with the ones that are working. I do believe for personal accountability, start with a vision board. Write down what you want, put it on a whiteboard, cut out pictures. This activates the IRS, reticular activating system. You want to get this into the back of your mind so that you're seeing it, you're believing it, your brain is seeing it, you're reviewing it all the time. Get into this. There's all kinds of, there's video programs you can do and play over as a recording. You can look at whiteboards, you can do rituals, whatever it is that gets you everything. Journal, track your results, track your feelings, do this weekly and quarterly. Review what's happening weekly, review what's happening quarterly, see where you were strong, see where you're weak. This helps be personally accountable, your learning experiences. Review each quarter and then just make adjustments. Look, you're not going to get this right 100%, but you can just keep improving. Tony Robbins has a process he shared at the Eric War event. He tries to get 10% more clients. He tries to get 10% an increase in purchase price and a 10% value on his business, like tries to get 10% more clients, 10% higher purchase price, and he says the amplification means a 72% growth in his business, 10, 10, 10. Okay, get an accountability coach. Find someone to hold you to the grill. It's not going to be pleasant, believe me. A great coach, you know, I'm going to let you know a little secret. The best coaches I've ever had were some of the most challenging relationships I had. The ones that, you know, a good coach, they're going to tell you things that don't feel good. They're going to share with you insights or behaviors or hold you accountable to the things that we want to check out from. And you might not like it, but you'll respect it. And when you're talking about a coach, chances are your friend, your relative, or whoever is maybe not the right person. You might want to go out there and get someone who is a professional in the industry to really, really grill you on this and hold you there. It's powerful. So remember, coaching is different than mentorship, and it's not always pleasant. So here's some principles in goal setting in Enagic. 5 principles. Number 1, focus. Number 2, you got to have faith. Number 3, follow up, follow through, and figure it out. You got to focus on your goals. You got to have the faith that you're going to achieve it. You have got to follow up on the process. A lot of people reach out to people, but they don't follow up. And keep in mind, I'm not just sharing. I'm not here to share with you that I got all this stuff right. These are the things I've learned along the ways. When I didn't have focus, it didn't work out. If I didn't have faith during those challenges times, when it wasn't working for me, and everybody goes through those down periods, you know what? Faith is what pulls you through it. The follow-up. I can't tell you how much business I lost by not following up. And you'd be surprised at follow-up of how it works. Follow through. Do what you say you're going to do long after the feeling of that goes away that when you said you were going to do it. That's important. Follow through. And guess what? If there's something you don't know, figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. You say, I don't know how I'm going to make it to a Enagic convention. Figure it out. You say, I don't know how I'm going to get to 10 people. Instead of saying, I don't know how, turn that around and say, how can I get to 10 people? Or here's a thing. Write this down right now. I learned this recently, and it blew my mind how effective it is. Instead of saying, stating and emphasizing and anchoring the obstacle, say, why is it so easy to achieve X? So why is it so easy for me to achieve the rank of 6A? Why is it so easy for me to commit to 2 hours a day? Why is it so easy for me to learn how to invite people? Why is it so easy for me to send 25 texts a day? So ask that question. Why is it so easy to X? Change your life. Focus. Set your long-term vision. Focus on it no matter what, even. Set your medium vision. Focus on it every day. Set your short-term focus, 90 days. Set your monthly goal, 30 days. Set your weekly activity scale and focus on income-producing activities, okay? Now, faith. Build a story as to why you will succeed. Study the biographies of mentors and people who succeeded despite of the odds. Tell stories of success to yourself and to others. Practice your story with everybody. Use inspiring videos, music, pictures, and feelings. Get up. Do you ever notice when they're talking about those people in the movies? Do you ever notice this? Whenever they get to the monologue or the inspirational scenes, what would Chariots of Fire be if they didn't have the music playing when he's running? Where would Rocky be if they didn't have the soundtrack, right? Would Rocky be Rocky if they weren't playing Eye of the Tiger? As soon as they play Eye of the Tiger, everybody starts throwing their fists and running upstairs. Why? Music anchors you. Use emotions. Use feeling. This is what activates and drives the business. Get excited about your business. Even if you don't feel like you're that kind of exciting of a person, get music into yourself. The other thing is build a relationship with your higher power. You know what I'm thinking of, I've noticed about Enagic is a lot of people turn over the obstacles to God. They turn over the results to God. They turn over to whatever that higher power is, to the universe, to divinity, to whatever it is for you. Turn it over to higher power. The more you plug into the higher power, the more that you can realize that you can achieve anything. Okay? There's a force of good out there. There's a force of energy. There's something out there that is committed. You're in the right place at the right time with the right company and the right product, and everything is happening and conspiring in your favor. The universe wants you to succeed. Have faith. Follow up. Make a list of your contacts. Hit 25 texts a week, followed by an email or phone call. Okay, the thing is, you want to send a text, you want to follow that up with an email, and you want to have a phone call. Okay? Until you receive half a dozen no's for every step of the business. You do that, you will be an unstoppable force. Ask questions. Listen. Move to the next step. Here's the steps. Step 1, invite. Step 2, present. Step 3, close. And when you close, you got to realize they're going to say no, and you got to loop back, invite them to the next thing. Share with the next part. Share the thing that they don't know about. Keep coming back and looping. Loop again, loop again, loop again, loop again. Five no's to get the yes. That's the average time. 5 no's. Okay? Follow through in the sale. Once you get the sale, go and hook up the machine. Share the benefits of the water. Ask for referrals. Go the extra mile. Make it an amazing experience. Bring them some extra bottles. Add some saline. Do something that blows their mind. Commit to it. Follow up with it. Follow up 2 weeks later, a month later. You know, I can't tell you the difference with the customers that I've done this one and the clients that I've done this one and the distributors I've done this. And I didn't do this all the time. And you know what? The ones that I didn't do it for didn't work out as well as they could have. I lost some good people, not because it wasn't their stuff. I didn't follow through properly. Okay? Teach your distributors to follow the system. Every single distributor that you get on this, you should help them. You should sit down with them. You should go sit down with them. Take them through the Prosperity and Health Alliance. Get them on the email list. Get them so that course is going to be sent to them so that we can help you in the follow-through. Do you know how amazing you're going to look when you turn on your team to the Prosperity and Health Alliance? We have an automated step-by-step business training. You can share with them that you're connected with the top producers in the industry, that we're having a webinar every Monday night, and you can ask any question you want. This is the system, okay? The system works. Have your distributors follow it. Let us work for you. Invite them to the Monday night webinars. They're 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, every Monday night except the first Monday of the night when we go to the Kangen One Info One. Invite people to a business meeting. Say, hey, you know what? I know you got the machine. Why don't you come on and check out this business meeting? I think you really, really like it. I want to share with you a way that you get your machine paid for. I want to share with you the tax incentives. I want you to introduce you to the person that taught me about this. I want to introduce you to the person that had the same condition you had that can share that. And people get excited about the meetings and the stories at the meetings. Stay focused on each step and the outcomes take care of itself. Figure it out. Figure out what you need to know. Figure out how to do this. Find the person or the program to teach you. Focus on your business. Focus on increasing your skills. Focus on your dreams. Okay? The figure-outable factor. You can figure this out. There's somebody that knows how to do it. We live in the world of www. Google. Google it. Email it. Roll out massive action. Reach out for help and ask for help. Finally, how to learn. There are no good or bad experiences, only learning experiences. You need to model successful behavior and successful people. You know, Charlie Munger, you know, the Warren Buffett's partner, says you learn from mistakes, but who said they had to be your own? I've made every mistake you can in this business, and I'm still a -3. I screwed up on every single component in this business. Every single component, every single skill. It's worth it to do it poorly and improve from that. Okay? Study audios. Read 4 books a month or download them or listen to audios related to our industry and to our business. Watch videos, whatever it is. Maybe you like audios, maybe you like reading, maybe you like videos. Find the medium to do and pound it. Go to events. And you need to go to a major event every 90 days. Find one in your area. Find one on events@yahoo.com. Go on to Events as Eli and find out something in your local event. And if you got to travel somewhere, go. When I started out this business, I went to an event almost every 30 days. Sometimes I went to 2 events in a month, like big events, big events. If there's a local demonstration in your group, in your area, go to it. If there isn't, start one, okay? That means you get to be the leader in your organization. Everybody's going to come to your place. You're going to set the tone. Be careful of distractions. I can't tell you, we live in the world of distractions. Man, that stuff will take you out. Okay, so just distractions will beat you up. Distractions are everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, social media, the news. None of that stuff is going to put dollars in your pocket. What's going to put your dollars in your pocket? Sending texts, sending emails, doing presentations, sharing the water. That's what's going to put money in your pocket. Okay? Now, when it comes to how to learn, you're going to have to learn skills. Here's how it works. Choose a skill that you want to develop. Maybe it's inviting. But look at the one thing that you're, what is the thing that you're most fearful of right now? Write it down. Write down what you're most, the thing that you think is holding you back the most at this moment. What is it? Okay? Write down that skill. What is it? And imagine you having that skill so that you are accidentally world class at it. Now here's what you want to do. You want to make a plan. You want to do your plan, and you want to review your plan. Figure out the skill that you want to learn. Plan on the action that you need to learn the skill. Maybe it's inviting, so you need to learn the inviting formula. I don't know how to send a text. Great. We have an inviting formula. Creel laid it out beautifully. So make a plan to study that every single day and to send out those texts following that sequence. Use the email campaigns that we have in the Prosperity Health Alliance. The links are all there. They're all there for you. They're already done. It's cut and paste, and just keep doing it. You'll be surprised at the result you get. And then review how well it's working for you. Then what you do, you make a better plan. You execute that plan, and you review your plan. You keep doing this over and over and over, and guess what? There's no skill that you cannot learn. None. How to learn. Teaching is the best way to learn. Learn it, practice it, teach it. Pay attention to your associations. You got to eliminate toxic people, guys. Look, that person that is hating on you, that person that is cutting you down, that person that says you can't do it, you need to use that as a motivation strategy, and you need to eliminate them. If it's people close to you in your family, try and limit your exposure to them. Try to turn their toxicity into motivation. Turn their pain into motivation or vision. You got to eliminate negative people. Look, I know you hear people, misery loves company. You know the thing. You got to get rid of those people in your life. You need to get around people that you want to become. Basically, you're the summation of the 5 people you hang around most. So look at the 5 people that you hang around the most with. Guess what? You're the middle of the road of those 5 people. Okay? And if some of those people are negative, get rid of them. If they're toxic, get rid of them. And expand your association with better people. Work hard, work smart, work. I can't tell you, last year, I'll share with you a personal story. Last year, I made a commitment to myself to make the next level of income. So I spent about 90% of my time with people who were making anywhere between 5 and 10x what I was making. 5 and 10x. That's what I did. I spent as much time with people who were making 5 to 10 times the amount I was making. And guess what? At the end of the year, I was making a lot more money. And I was having a lot more success. And I was feeling a lot better about it. Now, when I was first hanging around those people, what did I do? I was of service to them. I learned from them. And I found a way to be of value to them, and I got to learn and be inside the way they thought, the way they think, the way they do things, and that, guess what? You are the people you associate with, and things that seemed complicated and baffling before became easy and normal and actionable for me, okay? Duplication is the key to your success. Every action you take, you need to ask, is this duplicatable? If it is, do it. If it isn't, do something that is. Remember, simple is better than complicated. Be an expert on the system, not an expert in the system. You follow what I'm saying? I started out trying to be an expert in Enagic, and I realized once I became an expert on the system, I was a lot more successful and positively affected a lot more people. Now, getting plugged in. Every new distributor needs to go to the PH Alliance website on the very first day. www.prosperityandhealthalliance.com. You sign them up, you put them on the site, you get them on the email. Why? Because that way they're going to get all the emails, they're going to find out where all the webinars are, They're going to get that campaign dripped on, and we're going to help you keep your team plugged into our system. Okay, you're part of the PH Alliance. Isn't Creel's, Siha's, and Wade's. It's everybody's. It's yours. Take ownership of that. Share. Hey, you know what? You're just getting started with that new distributor. Hey, get on our website. It's our website, and use that terminology. Take ownership of it. First step, you order the machine on the site. Number 2, get them set up on an EWS and help them go through the site. And number 3, have them sign up for the PH Alliance webinars, which are on the webinars page. If you're here, I've got 7 p.m. PST. That's an old thing. It's actually 6 p.m. I'll change that later. Now, to set up your Enagic website, you get your ID. You go to enagicwebsystems.com. You put in your ID and your information. You purchase the program. Then go in there and watch the videos, read the documents. You know what I mean? You tell people to do that. You don't have to be an expert. Just read all that stuff. Get over it. Just go through it. Take a day. Take a Saturday. Just go through the whole thing and learn about it. Learn all the value that's in it, and that's it. Then refer people to those things, okay? For company information, you go to Enagic Web Systems or go to enagic.com. Now, to getting started, here's what you do. You set your goals. Determine how much you can work and set the time to do it. Eliminate the distractions. Treat your business like a job at first. Most people will show up at their job on time every single week, but they won't show up for their business like they will a job. They won't show up for themselves like they will for other people. Show up your business like a job. Set the point times. Commit to it, even if you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs until you get it. Okay? Treat it like a job at first until it becomes a business. Connect with the team, the webinars. Okay? You need to get in with the team. You need to be here every Monday night. And the reason why that is because it gets you fired up again. It gets you into the connection. Not everybody out there in your sphere of influence is doing this, right? You look at how many people are building an online, an internet marketing business or a social media business, a Conga business. Is everybody you know doing this? Probably most people aren't. Get around some people, connect with a team. It's really positive, and it was really good for me when I started out. Okay. Next, use the sites. Use the PH Alliance and use the Enagic Web System. That's EWS, by the way. We use those interchangeably. Now, personal development. If you want to be a professional in the industry, go to www.Network Marketing Pro. Eric Worre. Google him. Go to his site. Read all his materials. Get his book. Watch his videos. Get on his email list. He's the #1 trainer in the industry. He transformed my business. He transformed all the guys on this call's business. If you're looking at personal mastery, if you want to take your body, your brain and your mind to the next level, he was a speaker the last couple of years at Eric Worre. Tony Robbins. He's going to be there next year too. Tony Robbins is the man, TonyRobbins.com. Brendan Burchard, we've got a lot of our top performers in the PH Alliance have gone to Brendan Burchard. I think he is one of the great thought leaders. I think he really shows you how to really brand yourself and create a business around who you are. Go to his High Performance Academy, go to his Experts Training Academy, any of his stuff from Brendan, his videos and online stuff. He does a lot of free stuff. He's amazing. If you're struggling with sales, go to jordanbelfort.com, just go get his sales training program. Maybe one of the greatest sales trainers in the world, and if you drill that down, you'll become unconsciously competent in the next 6 to 12 months. You will become a sales master. I don't care who you are. You can learn the skills by just watching a video or an audio every single day of Jordan and working that system and incorporating it yourself. These guys are master. Okay? Now, events. Monday night webinars. Every Monday, 6 Alliance. Kangen 1 info. First Monday of the month. Be there. It's amazing. It's at 7 p.m. Super Saturdays, get on them. You can find out all about them at events@eli@yahoo.com. Go to your local demonstrations and business meetings. This is important. And the Enagic Global Convention is this March 15th to 18th. When it comes to networking events, go to a minimum of 1 social business event per month. Commit to going to a personal development every month. Commit to going to 1 Enagic group event every quarter, and commit to going to the GoPro event, and commit to going to Enagic Global Convention. Commit. Figure it out. Figure out how you're going to do it. Do all these things. Okay. How do we put all this into action? We're coming to the questions and answers where my guys are going to join. I know we've been hammering and I've been going rapid fire here, but the bottom line is this is 2017. We're going to make it the best year ever. Remember, action trumps strategy. You know what? All out massive action. Just go out there and just throwing stuff with noodles at the wall. You'll get more strategic later. Commit to sending 25 texts a week. If you do nothing else, send 25 texts every week. Next, set your meetings, track your results. Get help. I've struggled with this one in the past, and in other areas of my life, I've struggled with this. I always have a hard time asking for help. But every time I do ask for help, my results go up, and every time I don't, I struggle. Okay? So get help. Look, you do this business by yourself, but you don't do it alone. Use the tools, use the website, plug into the team. Don't isolate. Don't isolate. Don't recoil from where people go wrong in this business. They stop going to meetings. They stop going to the webinars. They stop opening the emails. They stop connecting with other distributors in their organizations or in other organizations. They isolate. Don't isolate. Plug into the team, plug into the meetings. Keep moving forward no matter what. It works if you work it. Plug into the team, plug into the meetings, keep moving forward. There's a team here for you. We're here every Monday night. Okay? Here's the habits of success. Here's what it goes. Habit number 1, go to the online weekly webinars. Commit to that. Write that down in your daily and your weekly action plans. 2, attend or host public demonstrations bi-weekly. You at least, some people like it weekly, some people, but don't go less than 2 weeks. If there's no public demonstrations in your community, start one. I can't tell you how many demonstrations I've been there, no one showed up. It's okay. The event goes on no matter what. Whether there's 10 people on this webinar or 1,000 people on this webinar, it's happening every Monday night. Commit to it. Plan, promote, and participate in organizational events. We've got another one coming up on the 20th. I repeat again, January 20th in Vancouver. Be there at the Enagic 10-year reunion. We've got another one in March. We got Eric Worre next fall. Be at those events. Okay? Plan, promote, and participate to the organization. Here's the ABCs of the business. Danny D. McCauley went over this last week. He's going to go over it again every single month. It doesn't change. Share the water. With as many people you get on the water as possible will transform your business. 2, share the business opportunity. Share the advantages of the business. Share with them how they can get their machine paid for. Share them how they can add an extra $500 a month to their business. Share how they can help bring home their spouse or find out what that is and share the business. And number 3, the C, promote, participate in events. Here's the weekly format right here, guys. Here's what it is. This is it. Simple weekly format. This works. Send out 25 texts. Take a picture of this if you have to right now on your computer right now and write this down. Commit to sending 25 texts. Set 5 appointments. Okay? Go to those appointments. Do those presentations. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Recognize this. 500 people are going to get you to 6A. The more and you're not going to have to expose all those people. The average 6A, it's 8 to 12 direct sponsorships. So if you send out 25 people and you're getting 5 appointments, okay, and let's say you're closing 1 out of every 10 appointments, okay, 1 out of every 10 that are going to join your business at some point. Well, how many weeks is that going to take you to hit your 8 to 12 directs? It's going to take you approximately 3 months to get those 8 to 12 people. Most people won't do that. Most people, the reality is a lot of people won't do that. But if you do, if you become the one that's going to be different, if you're going to be the one that commits to your goals, you go do this, guess what? You get those directs. And now you're going to have people, you're going to replicate and you're going to duplicate. You've got to realize that those first 3 or 4 people are the tough ones. Those first 10 people are the challenging ones. It gets easier and gets better. And you start working with people in your team and helping them. It's not who you know that's going to build the business. It's how many people see the demo, and appointments are the key, and getting other people to bring people. Okay? So that's it. That's it. I want to thank you for this. I'm going to turn this over to my friends that can join in on the call. Look, we've got a lot of free training and information on how to build your business. It's on the prosperityandhealthalliance.com. It's open to everybody in Enagic. We commit it to you. The bottom line is we love you. We care about you. We're so excited to have you on the team. It's all out massive action 2017. Let's hit those ranks. Let's get that income. Let's transform your life. Let's go out and reach out and tell the world about it. Let's help people get on the water. Let's help people have those health transitions. Let's help people have all that sort of stuff. Let's really make this the year. Let's eliminate the distractions. Let's focus on our goals. Let's have the faith that we're going to do it. Let's course correct. Let's get that coaching, get leverage on ourselves, and do this thing, because you know what? You owe it to yourself. I mean, isn't it time? Isn't it time that you jumped on this? Isn't it time you wrestled the bull to the ground? Isn't it time that you won? Isn't it time that you took that vacation? Isn't it time you drove the car that you want? Isn't it time to take the trip you want? Isn't it the time to have a great Christmas next year? I got to spoil my parents like I never have before this year. It felt so good. It felt so good to take an entire month and just spend it with my family and spoil my parents that have done everything. I want you to have that experience. I want you to be able to spoil your loved ones, right? I got to spoil my girlfriend. It was awesome. I got to spoil my friends. It was awesome. You know, I got to do things that I never thought about. I'm sitting here in beautiful palm growing. Like, this is because I committed to some things and had some faith to it, and I want you to do it. I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I'm here to help you. Siha is here to help you. Creel is here to help you. The Prosperity and Health Alliance is here to help you. Enagic is here to help you. You have $1 billion brand with points of sales and distribution all around the world and the #1 commodity in the world. You have automated business training systems. You have merchant accounts. You have offices. You have a factory that are producing out machines. You have people who are taking phone calls. You have service people in your businesses. You have websites built. You have literally millions and millions of dollars worth of business systems behind you. You have a global presence. You have a 40-year history inside the company. You have mentors, an advisory board that is willing to share with you exactly what you need to do. All you need to do is send those texts, send those emails, and reach out and call people. That's all you have to do. You have so much going for you. This is the one. This is your opportunity. This is something that can change your world. This is one thing that can make the difference. Okay, with that, I've gone on crazy enough. I'm so pumped up. Guys, you want to jump on the call here and join and share it to people, and then we're going to take some questions. I'm so fired up, man. I don't know if it's the heat down here or what it is, guys, but I am fired up.
All right. Great stuff, Wade. I have a couple key points I just want to throw in to kind of really match all that. As I was listening, I realized that I've done about 80% of the stuff you recommended. And I've gotten to this level in my business. And so I realized, you know, what we're telling people is actually what we've done and what works. So it's not something that's pie in the sky ideas. It's like, it's the nuts, it's the bolts, it's the basics. It's not very glamorous, but if you just do, you know, slide by slide, there was such great value in it. If you really set your mind to it, this is going to happen. So point number one is, for me, when I got clear on my why, the action followed. Before that, I didn't have enough fire or clarity to really go through the hardships and the ups and downs of what it would take to reach the 6A level. When I got clear at the beginning what I wanted and what my dream was, when I really locked that in for myself, I was willing to go through the fire to get tested to grow there. So I really want to encourage everyone, you got to revisit your why, because and you got to make it fresh every year. It's got to be something that really moves you. And there's got to be a fear attached to it, because the fear can be motivation, and it's excitement and fear brought together is really worth something, doing something. And so one is get clear in your why, you know, and dream big. Number two, core ethics and interests. which you mentioned. Once I got really clear on who I was and what I was excited about and what was important to me, I just went and told people that story and asked questions to find out if people were resonating with what I was into. So I was looking for people who got excited about what I was getting excited about. And people who didn't, I didn't pay attention to them. I just moved forward. So really connect with who you are, what you want to do, get your core ethics and beliefs, your interests. Start telling the world about that, bringing up conversations, find a reason to tell your story, ask the questions, and you're going to find people that are holding the same tuning fork as you, and that's where you're going to invest more time and energy into a relationship to really unfold either a great friendship, a new business partner, or something else. So get clear on those core ethics, core beliefs, core interests. And the third thing is daily method of operation. I'm a big fan of Napoleon Hill. I think he does some amazing stuff. And my method of operation in the morning is I take care of myself for an hour and a half. When I go into my office, which is about 8:45, 9 o'clock, I read my desire for riches statement. And I'm reprogramming my mental state so that I'm already in alignment with success. And Tony Robbins has a great saying, we vastly overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 10 years. And I find people, they get disappointed quickly and they drop out, where I really want to encourage, have a bigger vision and have the staying power to achieve greatness. Because it's not going to happen overnight, and anything worth that significance in your life is not something that's going to happen in 24 hours or 24 days. So do you have the staying power to stay connected to your core beliefs, stay connected to your big dreams, and do your method of operation in a consistent basis, just like Wade, put out there, and do that over and over and over, the sets and the reps. And I find if you align those three things, you'll have more fun. You'll get confused whether you're working or playing. Siha is a perfect example of that. He's having the most fun in the business and is making a small fortune monthly. And really align with following up on a monthly basis to keep moving it forward. I'm 6 years into it. I'm still moving it forward. I'm still doing the sets and the reps because once you understand what it is, you just start to coach other people about it. So Wade, thanks for putting the PowerPoint together. You covered basically A to Z. That's the formula. It worked for me. I remember when I got into business, which was a little over 6 years ago, I sat with you and did a coaching mentorship call, and we set out the goal. What I said at that time was, hey, I want to be 6A in 12 months, and I want to make $100,000. You said, great. You put it on the whiteboard. I put it on my whiteboard. He said, okay, great. In 9 months, you got to be here. In 6 months, you got to be here. In 3 months, you got to be here. This is how many people you got to do. This is how many text messages you got to do. And we just went through the numbers. What you showed tonight was what you showed me 6.5 years ago. Instead of 12 months, it took 16 months. But it started the pace to keep growing and moving. So I really want to encourage everyone, take to heart and put the theory into action and start immediately. Get right into it. Monday has started. We're off and running in 2017. Super stoked to be here, and can't wait to hear your questions and feedback, and anything I can do to support you guys. Reach out to me personally, Facebook or email, to help. I'm here to do that. So thanks so much. Siha, I'm going to turn it over to you now, bro. Siha, you might be muted.
Yeah, you might be muted, Siha, so you can unmute yourself.
Oh, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you turn it up a little bit?
I don't think I can turn up the microphone.
So that's better. That's better.
Okay. I was saying, wow, you know what, the tuning fork, I resonate with every single ounce of energy that you guys are putting out there, and I just love you guys so much for it. This is what brings us all together with Prosperity and Health Alliance. It started that way, and it's going forward this way. Wade, what can I say, buddy? I took notes of, can you see that? I took notes of what we resonate so much with, and I'm not going to go through it. I'm always continuing to learn. I will, this is what I got out of this is the fundamentals. The fundamentals never changed. Like Creel was just saying, what you talked about with him is what you and I talked about, and how we're all growing with the fundamentals, and how we're helping our teams move forward. and I have to, again, I was looking for golden nuggets. Dude, you hit the mother lode. So this was a Super Saturday training. You 10x'd it in the hour or whatever it is that you did. You did 10x it. This training was so awesome. I kid you not. I will have my children watching this, because it's not just for Enagic, it's for life success. And it's for not just Enagic business. So many things that you taught here, it can resonate with whether you're a realtor, whether you're in another business, or whether you're just looking to improve yourself, because it's all about improving yourself. You're going against yourself if you want to get better. And so I can't thank you enough for this training. That was awesome. Krill, our energies just resonate. Again, I wanted to say, the fundamentals that Wade talked about is what I believe in. And everything that you said there, I don't need to repeat it. I just want to thank you guys for being a part of this with me and moving us forward. And I want to thank our teams all over the world for reaching out and staying in contact. That's the most important thing that I've felt that has kept our teams together and grown together, is that you'll see us together. Look at us on Facebook. You'll see us having parties. You'll see us having dinners. You'll see us having trainings. You'll see us getting together anywhere and everywhere we're around the world. And if you're a Enagic family and you happen to be in the same part of the world that we are, please, let's reach out and let's connect and let's inspire each other. I was in Cabo San Lucas, and sure enough, guess who's there? Mr. Creel Hutchinson and Christine, his beautiful gal, and some other teammates, Savannah and Brock, met up with me. That's the lifestyle that Creel was talking about that I love so much about Kangen lifestyle. We get to live it. We get to enjoy it, and with everybody that's involved. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I just can't wait to just connect with all the teammates and hear you guys' question. And like Creel said, we're all here to help. Reach out to us. So with that, do you want to start with the questions?
That would be great, guys. For some reason, Kim, I'm not able to access the questions, or my go-to webinar control panel is jammed up, so I don't know if your guys' is working. But for some reason, mine seems to not be working. So
I've
are
got
you
it
guys
working
able
myself.
Okay, great. So
Yep.
maybe you can start reading off and answering the questions, or sharing it with Siha, myself, and hopefully we can get this back, and maybe Kim will be by the way, a big shout out to Kim, who's in the background. Of course,
Hey, Kim.
she's really an integral part of the Prosperity and Health Alliance, and has made such a great difference. We thank you. We're so lucky to have her in the background. She makes all this stuff work, and she's the one that puts up these webinars on the Prosperity and Health Alliance, their YouTube page, and we have little links. They're little small links, because that was the way the program worked on the site. But if you look at those little links, you can get to the Prosperity and Health YouTube page, and that has all of the videos from all of the trainings, every single one that we've done, and thank you, Kim, for doing that. So without any further ado, hopefully, Krill, can you read off the questions that we have? Or,
Yep.
And can,
I've got it here, so.
Yeah. And I want to say a big shout out to all the attendees that have stayed so long on this as I went into the to the crazy zone. I love you guys so much. I'm so fired up. So thanks for being here. Let them rip with the questions.
Great, and just want to encourage everybody, if you've got some questions, some comments, throw it in now, and we'll go through it. Rodney in Kelowna just wanted to shout out for a big Happy New Year's.
Hey, Rodney, looking good, by the way. I've seen the health results he's doing. Man, amazing.
And Claire, who I think is doing a little traveling right now, maybe in France or something. Woot woot, just saying hello. Lori Walsh, here's the question. What do you write in your texts? I think all three of us could answer this one. I'll go first. There's different text to be sent out depending on the relationship, obviously, and how long it's been since I've contacted that person. When I'm kind of starting the process, usually it's really like friendly, and I'll say something like, "Hey, hey Jim, haven't seen you in a while. Just wanted to contact. Are you free to get together for a coffee or tea this week? Or are you free for a quick check-in?" And I'm really just looking to create first one or two text messages back and forth get a little bit of fun. I don't bring up anything serious. It's really about, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you for a while. You know, are you free to meet up for a tea? I want to get the appointments and build more of the relationship happening. If the text is regarding, like we bumped into each other somewhere, we talked a little about the water, then I'm reaching out and saying, hey, you know, it's great meeting you. Would love to follow up this week and share some information. When do you have some free time to have a call or get together for a tea? So those are the text messages, really trying to put energy into connecting and the relationship. You guys want to answer that question?
Sure. I'll go, and then we'll let Siha go. I just reach out and it's like, I just send it like a normal text, like anybody else. Like, hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Let's get together this week. What do you got free? That's it. And they say, I'm available. I said, I got Tuesday at between 7 and 8, and I got Thursday afternoon. And if that doesn't work, maybe we can do Saturdays. Any of those times work? And they say, yeah, I can do Thursday at 5 o'clock. Okay, perfect. Thursday, 5 o'clock, let's meet at the Urban Fair. I've got an appointment at 6, and oftentimes I'll already set the tone of when I'm going, like what's the length and duration so that they show up on time. So it's like, okay, yeah, I've got till 6 o'clock that night. Let's meet at 5 o'clock. We'll grab a tea. I want to catch up with you. Look forward to it. That's it. And then I go to, when I meet up, I start talking to them about what's going on in their life and asking them questions before I want to gather data and information of where I'm going to go. If it's somebody that I met that might be for the business, maybe I met somebody at a social event, a party, something else, I'd say, hey, Bob, great connecting with you the other day. Remember we talked about that? I want to follow up and share some things with you. What do you have available this week? Or maybe we talked about the business. I want to share the business thing that we talked about. Or remember that health thing? Why don't you come on over to the house? I want to get you some of that water. Right? And boom. Or whatever that happens to be based on the conversation you had before or the relationship you had before. But just quick and easy, friendly. Don't try and do a sales pitch in a text message. Okay? Don't tell everybody you want to get there and start asking questions. The key to this business is get a meeting, ask questions, and follow up from there and just keep moving things forward. Siha.
Excellent. I do the same thing as Creel and Wade, and it depends on the situation. What I found that's been really successful for me is I actually send a picture that reminds them of me or our conversation. If I'm trying to, like Wade, set up an appointment, because that's the goal for me, is to set the appointment. And they've confirmed on appointment, I'll actually go to Google, look up the coffee shop that I'm going to meet them at, and take, you know, or what's that called, Yelp, and I'll take a picture of that location and I'll send it to them, just remind them, this is where I'm going to go. So I pictures say 1,000 words. I send pictures of places where we're going to go. I send them pictures of where if I met them on the plane to Cancun or whatnot, I'll just send them a picture that was a view from the beach, or, you know, a beach that I was swimming at. So I love sending pictures to remind people, and then sometimes I know that they forgot what I look like, or I think that they forgot that I look like, and so I'll send them maybe a picture of me, you know, maybe not right face there, but you know what I mean, just a nice friendly picture with a drink or something in my hand or whatever to break the ice and to move it forward. So a lot of my texts, I'd say 80%, 90% of my texts when I'm doing the follow-up is with pictures. So that's what I've incorporated in my work.
Picture's worth 1,000 words.
Awesome. Great stuff. And, you know, a little tip on that, Lori, whenever I meet somebody and there's exchange information and I got their cell number, I'll send them a text almost immediately when I leave the conversation, just saying, hey, great to meet you, look forward to connecting next week, and put my name and contact. I might even send my whole card over when you can share your, you know, your card on phone. I'll do that immediately, so it pops up both as a reminder to me when I'm scrolling through my text messages to see, you know, who I need to talk to, because I've already sent that text, it will be in there. And the same thing, they've got my contact right away, so if they feel like they want to take it into action themselves, that opportunity is there rather than waiting for them to reach out. So that's one that's been really helpful for me.
I just forgot.
Rodney in Kelowna, he's got they've got a brand new.
Got something. Wade's got
I
some.
got one. Sorry to interrupt. There's one thing I wanted to add to that with text. If I'm doing a follow-up with somebody that I met at a social event, what I often will do, let's say they told me they needed to know a massage therapist or a chiropractor, or they needed to know some little key aspect. What I'll do is I'll often, that's not even related to the business, but it's a way that I can help them. I'll say, hey, by the way, remember you told me about Fred, that you needed a chiropractor. Well, I got this guy I call the Wizard. Here's his phone number. Here's his contact. I put a good word in for you. Go out and connect them. And so that way I establish myself as a value creator, and I might do 2 or 3 of those things before I bring them into my world. I want to make sure that I'm creating value with every single person in my life, whether they join my business or not. So that's another strategy that I implement, so that I can be put into the value creator as the value taker person. So there's an old thing by Gary Vaynerchuk. He's an online. It's called jab, 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 right hook. And what that means is offer value, offer value, offer value, then you do your pitch, offer value, offer value, offer value, then do your pitch, invite them to your thing. Go ahead with Rodney's question, Creel.
Yeah, great stuff, Wade. Rodney's just got a kind of an announcement for us. In Kelowna, they got a brand new Kangen training center, and they're going to start this Wednesday night, 7 p.m. For demos. And you can connect with Rodney Warren on Facebook, everybody. He's there promoting, and the address will be found there. It's number 4/451 Adams Road, and that's in Kelowna. So you always want to know where the demos are happening in our organization, because you never know when you're going to find somebody who lives in the Kelowna area, or someone in your team has somebody in the Kelowna area that you need to connect in. So it might not resonate for you right now, but you want to know where those demos are happening. Lori wants to say thank you. Here's a question from Michael Anisplash. I probably said that wrong. I apologize, Michael. I have decided I want to break down certain parts of the water demonstration to try to achieve more attention based on Facebook videos. My fiance's family is also deaf, so she will be signing for the deaf community in our videos, because they need our voice as well as our teaching of how Enagic can help them as well. Would that be a great start to bring another community into play? Any other tips or advice would be appreciated. Thank you all for your information and advice. So I think the question is, well, would that be a great start to bring another community into play, breaking down the videos and adding the signing on top of it, and then being able to put those videos on Facebook?
You know, we have a policy in one of my business, and it's called "Get out of the realm of opinions and theories. Try it and track your results." But I will put a qualifier in there. You might end up becoming the #1 distributor in say the deaf community, and I think that would be awesome. As long as you're spending enough time and getting those 25 texts going out there and reaching out to a community like that, that might be extremely successful, because maybe a lot of people aren't thinking about those people. So that could work very well, but it comes down to the basics. You've got to send those 25 texts, and you've got to get those presentations in front of people. A lot of people will get distracted by spending a lot of time trying to reinvent the wheel and create a new automated sequence and a new video sequence and a new webinar sequence and a new poster and a new way to do the presentation, and they want to build 14 different websites. And they want to, and I'm not here to criticize, but I'm just trying to share with you, over the last 10 years, I've seen so many people get these ideas, but what they really are doing is they're getting distracted. So if you're going after that community, go after them, but make sure you're sending the 25 texts, you're setting the appointments, and you're getting people on the water. If you do that, you're going to crush it in that industry. But if you start burning up all your time trying to create something new and creating a new webinar and a new audio and a new video and a new this and a new that, and I'm putting on the coaching hat here, so I'm hitting you hard. You're going to struggle, and that's just the way it's going to be. But if you go after that community, and I think that's an awesome thing, and you're sending out those 25 texts, and you're setting those appointments and doing those presentations and reaching out to that community, I think you could have something extremely explosive. But just don't mix up the income-producing activities with activity. It's a very, very important distinction, and I think this is the one that kills people in this industry. They do not do the income-producing activities, and that's reaching out, contacting people, setting appointments, sharing the water, sharing the business, and promoting events and following that sequence over and over and over again. That's what's going to make you hit those ranks. That's what's going to get you to the levels that you want to and reach your visions, your goals, and be able to really contribute. That's what's going to do it. Nothing else. So if you want to reach out to that community, just to go over that again, go for it. Just make sure that as you're reaching out, you're following the system of the daily habits and the daily recommendations and the weekly habits and the weekly recommendations, and I'm sure you're going to do great.
I agree with you, Wade, 100%. Any community is a great community to bring in, but don't count on that being your one and only breadwinner or your success that's going to take you to the 6A. You have to be working with all communities. Equal opportunity is what I'd like to share with you there. So any community is a great community. Bring them in. Bring the elders. Bring in, you know, the main people that can help you drive this. But don't just say this is the only one that I'm going to do or focus on. You just got to, like Wade said, 25 people, 25 communities. You do 25 communities, your business is going to be massive. Good luck.
Awesome. Next question.
You're on mute.
Michael responded back, and he said, I have one of our friends that have been on Kangen for 5 months. She is deaf, and her eyesight has been increasing. She's going to buy a machine in a couple of weeks. Thanks for the information. Michael, I would encourage you to then leverage her. Why don't you guys set up a little like private demo for her community, your community, and you're going to do it like for that community in particular. So, you know, bring her in, and now you're both promoting and inviting. Rather than like spending time on videos, like try to draw the people into a live event right away and leverage that type of testimonial would be my suggestion right off the bat. Okay, next question from David Pritchard. After you set an appointment by text, what does the appointment look like when you meet for tea? Question mark. Do you explain much about Kangen water? Question mark. Then is the next step getting them to a demo, or do you email links to a video, etc.? I guess I'm wondering what tools and process you do to move your prospects through. Great questions. We've covered this in different webinars that we've posted. Really, it's the inviting formula and our ABCs 1, 2, 3 formula. My suggestion is you meet for tea and you have a great conversation and you tell stories and ask questions. And through you telling your story and asking questions, there's going to be overlapping interests or not. If there's overlapping interests, then depending on how strong that connection is, I usually like to send video links, 1, maximum 2, for them to check out very quickly so I get a really clear, yes, I'm going to watch this, when are you going to watch this, I'll follow up with you. It's easier to get people to watch videos first than coming out to a demonstration. Demonstration, it could take a few weeks for them to come out, whereas in a video link, they could watch something in 12 minutes and you're that step further. You've warmed them up, they like the idea, you're continuing the conversation, then you might invite them to a live event. So that's the process I go through, the T, communicating, connecting. If it's right, send them a video link, maybe send them another video link, do a call, maybe a 3-way call if I want to share some story, then I bring them out to an event, getting more, you know, there's more value being built up, then I'm asking, you know, would you like to get one of these financing options, the difference in the machines, and then, you know, eventually purchasing. You guys want to expand on that?
I want to say a quick word. For me, I'm going to say what Creel and Wade say, and that is bring value. I'm always thinking when I get to a tea meeting, a coffee meeting, a lunch meeting, how can I bring you value? the client? How can I bring this prospect value? And that, I'm trying to draw it out of them. So making friends and how can I serve you? And that'll lead me to the sale. That's my short answer.
That's great. For me, one of the things that I look to is I ask a lot of questions. I find out what's going on in that person's life. I'm gathering data and gathering information. This is not a point where I'm going to fire hose everything that I'm doing. I'm going to gather that information, and then I'm going to take that data and loop it back to start communicating in a way that helps them reach their goals, their values, their dreams. And if I can offer some value going forward from that, and you got to realize that I'm at this stage in my business too. I'm very selective about who I deal with. I'm trying to find out if this is the type of person I want to work with or not. When you start seeing the business that you're interviewing people to join your organization, you're coming at it from, you're a business owner and are looking to be of service to someone, because guess what? We've got something that if people really understand, they'll be blown away by it. But just the reality is that's a process of getting people to understanding. And once they do, when people understand what this is about, they get machines. So I ask a lot of questions, and then I try and get them to the next meeting or to the next event or connect them and offer value. I always, always, always offer value every single meeting that I do.
Great. Next question from Marie-Eve, who's in Quebec. Thanks so much for the information. Here's the question. What would your first, second, and third tool be when approaching a business like a restaurant, spa, health supplement store as a cold market? These type of areas, you have to understand, get pitched all the time. So ultimately, my first, second, and third tool is trying to make a connection, a relationship unfold before I pitch them anything. So I want to become a user of their facility. I want to go to their restaurant. I want to be friendly. I want to connect. I want to stand out from the next person who's going to walk in and try to sell them something. So I'm really connecting, trying to make the value happen, and then from there build on that relationship. So that's my first, second, and third. And then from there, asking questions, what are they looking for in their business to improve or in their life to improve? And then I'm really hoping that they say something that I can relate value to. So that cold market is challenging to get into. That's how I would do it. Focus on the relationship first. You guys?
Yeah, if I can go here, Wade.
Yeah.
You said some key words there, Mary-Eve. You said cold markets to these retail stores. I would go in and take the posture of an advisor and a consultant to helping businesses like theirs increase their revenue. So I would take that posture and make an appointment with the owner, the manager, the decision maker, not just anybody, and I would come in and say, I can help increase your business by 30% per month, guaranteed. Give me a try. And then from there, they're going to listen. 30%. How do you know it's 30? I don't even know it's 30%, but give me a try. Give me 90 days to increase your business revenues by 30%. I don't even know what their business revenue is, but they're going to give me a try. They're going to give me 90 days or 120 days, whatever it is, and then I'm going to map out a plan. That's just to get the appointment. That's just to get their attention. You said cold market. What do I have to lose? Nothing. All the gain. And, you know, just give me a try. 30%. You can use 20%, 10%. I think 30%. You know what? If I hit 10%, you think they're going to chase me away? No. So that's my quick for the cold market.
And both guys are great. I actually use a combination of both. I go into businesses and I find out what that business is offering and how I relate to the owners and who's running there. I build a friendship with them, and then I come in and say, hey, you know, if I could show you a way to increase your business by another 10, 20%, 30%, those kind of numbers, would you be interested in checking something out? I know you're busy, but I think this is something that can make a big difference. 9 times out of 10 they'll be open. But for people who go in and just pitch them right off the bat, you just go into a category of 1,000 other people, and they don't hear you. Again, you always want to look at it. People join business because they want to make money and make an impact in their community, and they're probably very passionate about it. So if you can show them how you're going to achieve that goal by working with them and for them, well, then they're going to be interested. Next
Can't
question.
hear you, Wade.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
Creel. No, excuse me. Can't hear you, Creel.
Sorry, guys. Question from Rosa. How long do you share the water for? When should you cut people off? For me, Rosa, in most cases, it's 3 weeks, 21-day water trial. I make that very clear at the beginning, and so people have a realistic expectation of what's this happening, and then we can be talking about, around 21 days, getting machine, how's it going, and so forth. I can extend that at certain times, but in general, 21 days. Siha?
I concur. 21 days, and I have it on my business card. Some of my business cards say I'm going to share it for 21 days. So then it gives me an out whether I want to share it longer, or I can ask them for the sale at that time. I've been sharing with you for 21 days, or I've been sharing with you for 30 days. Let's get your own machine. So I have it on my business card. Change water, change your health. 21 day free trial.
And I'll share with you. I also do the 21-day. However, that's the expectation I set, or the standard. Oh, hey, I'll get you on a 3-week trial, that sort of stuff. But the bottom line is this: I shared water with a guy for 9.5 months, my good buddy Alain, and he turned me on to Siha. Okay, so the reality is there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's your business. You do what you want. But what I will say is I do believe to set expectations and set whatever you're comfortable with. Some people I know only have the patience to do it for 10 days or 2 weeks. Some people want to do it for a month. I think that a month is the high end, and I think 10 days or 2 weeks is the low end, and the sweet spot is that 3 weeks, because that gives you enough time. Now, the thing is, when you're sharing that water, you want to build a relationship with them during that time. You want to ask questions, and I know Bobby Gridelli, he goes out and delivers water all over the place. He gets in his truck and he loads up the stuff and he delivers water, or he sets up machines in people's houses, fill it up while they're watching videos, and keeps doing that all day long. I think in today's world, because people are so distracted, if you start showing up for people at people's houses, and it's a lot of work at first. I know Kim, who did this on the background, I shared with her to do that, go out and start sharing the water, and when she started doing that, she exploded to 4A relatively quickly when she started taking the water to other people and putting miles on her car. So she said it was 4,000 miles on her car, and she got to 4A. I can remember my mentor way back in the day, Sam, who went literally, it was like 90 days to 6A, and he didn't have a car. He just kept doing events and following up to get people to come over to pick up water from his house. So don't let whatever obstacle comes in. Just set the tone, make the expectation, and know your limits that's comfortable for you, and just go for it. And sometimes you'll have people that take time to get extra money or whatever, and you're going to have to make a judgment call of where they're at. That's what I did with my good buddy Alain that turned me on to Siha, and you know what? Now, Alain's a 6A, Siha is a 6A 2-3, and if it hadn't have been for that, holding on to that water thing. Keep in mind, Alain was coming in to get water from me. I wasn't delivering at that point, so that also made it a lot easier.
Great stuff. So we got a couple more questions. We're moving towards the end, everybody. David, who answered the question, he asks, what specific video links do you use? So this is all available in our automated training system. I believe it's email number 5 has a link to our Dropbox, which has all our template emails. I would look in there. You really want to send the link that matches the person's interest, whether it's athletics, the 10-minute demo, the 20-minute demo, maybe something on the business. I think anywhere from like a 5 to 12-minute video is probably long enough as a first exposure.
So I have like 6 or 7 videos that fit into that category for me, but you can find that all on our training system in our template folders. You guys want to add anything to that?
No, I'm good there.
Okay, great. Here's a question from...
I was going to say you missed the question by Jeff Swartz, or did we already answer that one?
No, I was just going to go for that right now. So
okay.
Jeff asks, how do you not offend very unhealthy and overweight friends or people when you share the water with them? Question. I'm totally stuck on soda pop and think water tastes plain. I'm totally brand new to this, but I am a firm believer in this. Change your water, change your life. Guys?
Sharing stories. You got to share stories. If you're coming at people and telling people to change, they're going to resent you and not want that. What you got to share some stories is, you know, you share stories and say, hey, you know what, for example, if someone is in that situation. I had a friend, I'll give you an example. I had a friend, he was really overweight. I was very concerned about him. And he knew I was on the water for a lot of years and didn't talk about it. You know, I'd say, hey, you know what? I said, hey, you know, I've known you for a long time. And I said, I just want to share this. I said, do you know the cost of having those sodas and what it does? Would it be okay if I showed you something? Because I saw this and it blew my mind. And then you let someone else kind of bring that to them. You bring the information to them as opposed to condemning them. That's a big factor. Say, hey, you know what? I learned something about soda pop. Freaked me out. I want to share this with you. You got 60 seconds to watch this video.
Great.
And recognize if they don't want it, it's okay. Move on.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Wade, of like not shaming people for where they're at, but creating interest or asking a question and then delivering a video that allows the information to be told by somebody else.
Well,
Siha?
Yeah, thank you. Wade, that's how he got introduced myself and my family to a healthier lifestyle with eating organics and eating more greens and vegetables. And now my 2 children for the last 4 years are vegetarian. And myself and my wife, we'd cut it back. My wife's cut it back as a meat consumer, like by 90%, 95% of her diet. Myself, 90%. So Wade did not shame me. He didn't shame my family. He just, you know, led by example. That's the key for me. And he just led by example. And I just, every time I was with him, every time I was with, you know, the social network that he was around, this is how they ate. And I fought it, and I didn't like it, and this and that. But as time went on, you know, I got introduced to better food and better water and better everything, better supplements. And I started to practice it, because I saw the enthusiasm in their life, I saw the energy in their life, I saw the vitality. I said, I want that. And so again, see, he didn't shame me, and he led by example, and that's what I've learned from Wade and everybody else, all my friends, and that's how I'm doing it now. And my children are the same way. When they go to school, when they go to other friends' homes, you know, they're not being rude, but they have to ask the parents if they're offering my children something to eat. They always ask, is it vegetarian? Is it organic? And it's really great that way. So lead by example.
And I think to sum that up, the difference is attraction rather than promotion. Make your story and make what you're doing attractive, and not in the sense of promoting something, because a lot of times people will put the flags up when you're trying to promote this, like in that sort of thing. Be attractive, and all of a sudden people say, hey, I want what they want. You know, I want a family like Siha has. Right? I want to be organized like Creel is. They don't tell me, hey, this is what you need to do, have a family. Creel doesn't say, Wade, this is what you need to do, how to be organized. I'm just attracted to what they're doing, and I'm inspired by it, because I say, I want to be like that too. And they're just being their essence, and again, offering lots of value to people and being okay where they're at. You know, be okay with it, you know. You'd be surprised that when you calmly are that way, you'd be surprised how much they are listening when you don't hammer them. Krill?
Great. We've got last two questions from Noel. Noel, great webinar. In your experience, what variables or factors are the most predictive of a prospect being a good business builder or distributor? Age, history of the business, ownership, or business ownership, education, motivation, etc. What are the best communities to target these business builders? Question mark. So from my experience, we did a webinar on this, and actually like the top business distributors, or the distributors that you're looking for, and those qualities. In general, anyone can surprise you, so you want to dig deeper and ask questions. But in general, what I'm looking for more than anything is someone who's got a big why and who's hungry for change. And sometimes that's the X factor. It's great if someone's got business skills from the past, have had a level of success, that are kind of, they had success and now they're down here, something's happened and they're looking for the next game. That's a really appealing kind of set of circumstances to start chatting with a potential business builder around. I'm sure the other guys have something to share, so I'll pass it on to you.
Siha?
Like Les Brown says, you know, you got to get hungry, and that's what Kirill was just saying. I'm looking for somebody who's hungry. Like myself, when I got introduced to Enagic, I had nothing going for me financially, and I was hungry. I needed money. I needed finances like I needed oxygen. And being in this for 8 years and seeing the leaders on stage and the ones that are making, you know, 6 figures to 7 figures, you listen to their story. They were hungry, and they needed finances like they needed oxygen. That's who I would target, and that's the success rate. Wait.
I'll add to that of this a little bit. I think, but those are really there's. If I would look at what is the biggest pattern of success, it's generally people that have what I call if you go to Harv Ecker's millionaire mindset or whatever. People that have a high thermostat. In other words, people that are used to making a lot of money and something changed in their lives that now they're feeling the pain of not having that, or a lifestyle or whatever that they had in the past, and they see themselves easily, or they see that it becomes a must, that they have to be successful in this. They're looking for something to make a difference. They're looking, whatever's going on in their life, there's some pain. You know, you're motivated by two things, pain and pleasure. Personally, when I got attracted in this business, I was in pain. I had a business that had got wiped out. I had a relationship that got wiped out. I got a home that was wiped out. Basically, I lost everything, and so that was painful. But I was used to having some success. I was used to having some money. I was used to having those things, and I said, I got to get back to there no matter what, because that was my thermostat. And I think when you find people like that, that is going to drive your business. And to co-opt that, who are you not looking for? You're not looking for the person that has never been successful in their lives. You're not looking for the person that needs to be fed all the time, that is in the blame game, is looking for you to do everything, or Enagic to do everything. You're looking for people who are going to do this with or without you. And I think a lot of people, they try and wake up the dead, as Danny D. McCauley would say, and that's a big mistake. Look at this as you're the business, you own a corporation, or you own a sports team, and you want to draft or hire the top people in the industry. Nobody would think about winning the Super Bowl by trying to get guys that couldn't cut it in college to play for their team and hope they're going to win a Super Bowl. What do teams do? They invest in looking for people who have the talent and abilities, and then they put them through a system. So you got to realize you're always interviewing. You're not going out prospecting, you're going out interviewing to see if this person's right for you, and if they're not, move on. This business, everybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. And that's an important distinction. And the second that you move into that posture, people are going to be attracted to you. The other thing is, when the people, I think a lot of people are hesitant to go after those people who they think are better than them or producing more than them. And the reality is those are the very people that will ultimately probably be the ones that are the most successful in the industry. The ones you're most scared to talk to, are probably the people you need to be talking to, because those are the people that are more likely to actually listen to the prospect, listen to the pitch, listen to what you have to offer, and see if it's right for them. That's my experience. The people you're scared of is the people that you need to talk to.
I want to take us back. I want to take us back real quick. 9 years ago, when I was in the car, Wade and I had this discussion, and the question he'd asked me says, you know, if you could sign up somebody who had heart or had talent, who would you sign up? Do you remember that discussion, Wade, as he's drinking?
I do.
Right, and the answer was, it wasn't the guy with the talent. It was the person with the heart and the passion. So that's also, again, they might not be the success person, but they have the heart and they have the passion, and we've seen it in our teams. I can list a whole bunch of leaders right now that are going through my head that, you know what, it's their heart and their passion is why they're at where they're at. They're successful because of the heart and passion.
And I want to qualify something here as well. There's a lot of different forms of success. So, for example, we have a lot of homemakers in Enagic that maybe didn't work in the workforce or all that stuff, and some people say, well, they're not successful, but I see that they've raised a great family, that they've contributed to their community. To me, that is a successful person. Maybe I saw a person who had an athletic background in high school and you know, is working an ordinary job, and they thought they'd like to have better. I see the success. So when you're interviewing people, you want to look for, maybe it might not be financial success, but there was an area in their life where they built self-confidence and they had produced results. And when you do those questions and ask people, you find out what that was indirectly, because most people like to share or tell you about a success they had, and then you access those principles that they leverage in that area of success, because then you know somebody is successful, that has the ability. So it doesn't have to be financial success. It can be personal success. It can be family success. Success comes in a lot of forms. It might be in unusual ways, and you only find out those things when you ask questions about people and get to know people. And you'll be surprised how people might surprise you.
Great stuff, guys. Last question, Mariev and Sandy both have the same question, and it's kind of a conversation around when to start building under the Ukon or where to put that. I made a video about this. I'm going to send it to everybody. You should have received that. That's one of our startups with the whole health package, or the trifecta, and how to start building right from the 1A position. That's if you're starting a brand new person, that's a good way to do it. If you're already in the business and moving forward, building under the Yukon is very strategic. I'd watch the video and then bring your questions to your upline sponsor or directly to one of the three of us to fill out the details on that. And I think it's a little bigger than we can get into, but there's lots of information in the video, so check it out, watch 2-3 times.
Yeah, and if you go right on to the Prosperity Health Alliance important videos, there's a business video where I break that down in extensive detail on how to strategically build your business. So it's really, really simple. And if you haven't watched all of those, first and foremost, everybody here that's on the call should go to the important videos and watch all of them. I mean, if you're going to be a professional in this industry, there's about 6 videos on that page, or something like that. There's the one with the doctors. There's one with the, machine. There's one on the demonstration, and there's one on the business building stuff. Go watch all of those. Even if you watch it on double speed or 1.5 speed on YouTube, like that's essential, and that question will be covered. And from that standpoint, you can check in with your upline to go back to that. So Yeah, that covers that. And the short, and actually, and again, yes, Creel did an amazing job, very, very short version of that.
All right, at that, we've ended our questions phase. We ran a little bit over time, but it's been such a great show. Awesome way to launch 2017. So I'm just going to finish with my closing comments and turn it over to the guys. Why not make 2017 your year? You know, it's about making a decision now, following the steps through the PowerPoint that Wade laid out. Get your goals, get your action, get your accountability, connect the outcome of where you want to be with your dreams, and be committed to your success. It's really that easy, but very few people will do what it takes to get there. Don't let that be you. Make 2017 your year. Lock arms with your teammates, your team members, with the PH Alliance, and let's run all the way through 2017 and make it the best one ever. So happy to be aboard and looking forward to hearing all the success from the teams, and hopefully joining you in a city near you soon and meeting you guys all in person. So over to you guys.
I go, Wade. So
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, you know, guys, everybody that's out there listening in on this, this has been the best journey of my entire life. If I had to do this over, knowing what we know now, I would gladly sign up again. It's so worth it to grow as I've grown with you all. It's so worth it to get to the 2-3 ranks and above, and on all the ranks growing up. But you know, what are we working for? We're working for freedom, and I truly believe that as we go up through the ranks with the Enagic company, 2-3, you just get more freedom. You have freedom right now where you're at, no matter what level you are when you're building this opportunity. But the freedom just gets more grand when you're at the 2-3. So just know this, it's so worth it. Go out there and just make it the best epic year, the best you can be. And we're here for you. Wade.
First and foremost, the one thing I feel so much is gratitude. You know, gratitude is something that can transform your life. And for whatever reason, we've got connected together on this planet with, you know, the vision of Enagic that started over 40 years ago from a guy in Okinawa who built a company and set up points of sales and distribution and built this incredible technology that transformed so many people's lives and created a business model that rewards us, then it can allow us to have true health. And somehow we've all connected through these mediums, that we live in a world where we have this digital technology that allows us to get on a webinar like this. We live in a world that a guy built all of these companies, and we have staff members at all these distribution points, and we have accountants and merchant accounts, and we have guys in a factory and girls in a factory building these machines, and we have videos, and we have, you know, mentors and people that are going to show us how to have this business and to teach us, and our product changes people's lives for people's health. It's good for their finances. It's good for the environment. I mean, when you actually look at the totality of this perfect storm, if you will, of amazingness, I mean, you just got to sit there in awe and go, can you believe this? To think of how many people throughout human history died from lack of water or died from poisonous water. Waterborne illness is the #1 commodity in the world. And to think that the Enagic business is growing fastest in some of the poorest countries in the world. And to think that we have this opportunity to go out there and change the world. We have an opportunity to go out there with little to no education, with no background in sales or in service or in manufacturing or in business at all. And anybody, I mean anybody with a desire in their heart can make this business real. The question is, do you have the vision? Are you willing to set the goals? Are you willing to turn your dream into reality? And are you willing to put a daily method of operation into your life starting tonight, starting today? Are you willing to do what most people aren't willing to do so you can do what most people aren't able to do? I can share with you this. Enagic came into my life at a time when everything was down, when I struck out at the plate, when it was a low point in my life. And somehow it all changed. Somehow, despite all my limitations, all my anti-beliefs against this type of industry, all that sort of stuff, it turned around. Somehow, I got to meet all these different people that I never knew before. Somehow, the hopes and the dreams and the magics and the meetings and the travels and all this sort of stuff kind of came together and created something. And you know what? Here I am in Central America living the dream. I really am living a dream, and it's because somehow the magic of Enagic caught hold in my life. And if you're here tonight and you're on this tonight, that magic's part of you, and you're part of that magic. And there are people tonight, right now, who are praying for a chance. There are people tonight who are looking for an opportunity. There are people tonight who are struggling with their health. People that you know. People that you think have got it all together. People who think that you might never dream of that are looking for this opportunity. So they're looking for a chance. They're looking to make a difference. They're looking for that thing that's going to be it. And this is it. This is the one. This is the one that can change your lives. Enagic has done so much for my life. It's done for so much for so many people. I have so much gratitude for Mr. Oshiro, for the Enagic staff and family, for all the other distributors in Enagic in our organization and other organizations, for my business partners, for the people that are helping us make this vision, for all of humanity. And, you know, it just brings tears to my eyes, and I'm just so grateful, and I want to share with you whatever challenge you might be going through right now, whatever obstacle you might feel that you have in your life. Recognize this: the obstacle is the way. That every challenge that you have is an invitation from divinity to help you raise up and realize the skills that are inside of you and the abilities that are inside of you, the unconquerable power of the human spirit. And this business has that in it. And you will find it inside of yourself if you go out and you work your business, and you put your heart out there, and you think the best of people, and you share the water, and you share the opportunity, and you do it over and over and over and over and over again, and you go one more time and one more time. And at some point, it all changes, and it gets hold, and it has so much momentum, you can't stop it. That's what happens in Enagic, and that is the magic. And believe me, every single person that has achieved their dreams in this has said the same thing. You just keep doing it. You share the water. You share the business. You share and promote the events. And you keep doing it over and over and over again. You put your heart, you put your best foot forward. You hold that space, and magic and amazing things will happen to you. I hope to see you in all the webinars. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love and care about each and every one of you. I love Enagic. I love the water. I like what it's done for me. I feel so grateful for everything in this, and I hope that you get to experience the same feelings that I'm feeling right at this moment, because believe me, this is what the human experience is all about. I want to thank you, and I want to thank my partners. I want to thank Kim for holding us. We'll see you on the next webinar. We'll see you at the next events. I love you all. Thank you, and good night.
Happy New Year. Good night, everyone.